Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tottenham Away, the best place to be on Monday night. If you're a Spurs fan, if you're not a Spurs fan, welcome anyway. Tonight, I've had to light a candle, people. And the reason I've lit a candle is in loving memory of the deceased tactics that Sheffield United thought they could bring to Tottenham Hotspur. They frustrated, they spoiled the game, they rolled around like prima donnas, they acted, they tricked, they fooled. And then the manager had the audacity to then moan about the officials that didn't give us a penalty, only gave 3 minutes of added time, didn't send off the goalie, and he had the audacity to moan about the tactics that he deployed. Rest in peace to Sheffield United's tactics. Let's go.
The first game we look for. The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
Rest in peace, Sheffield United, and your dead tactics, bringing that to White Hart Lane, thinking you're going to get away with it. Nah.
Still, I got cramp. I got cramp.
Oh no! What was No one touched you. Oh.
We're only extending the show by 3 minutes, right?
10 minutes.
We're only allowed 3, not the 10 we deserve. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Iggy? You all right?
All right, just had a lovely dinner. Just finishing it off with an espresso. I'm good to go, mate. How are you guys?
Fabuloso. All good. Another win under our belt. All good and gutted that I couldn't be there. Absolutely gutted.
You didn't go in the end. I thought you was going to turn up a little bit late. I did tell you, go a bit later. It's still worth going. And would have been worth
going. I should have gone there bloody 90 minutes. 90
yeah, just turn up 85 minutes, walk in, get the win, get straight out. Big up to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, man.
Good weekend for me as well. Always nice to seal it off with a win. Especially in the manner we won, it put me in a really good mood for the rest of the weekend. So it's all good.
Mate, I'm already in that North London week mindset. I've already forgotten about Sheffield United. To be honest with you, the North London derby was already on my mind even before. As soon as the international boredom week ended, I was already like, even past Sheffield United, I'm really thinking of Arsenal. Now, even more.
But now is the test. Now is the test.
The banter at work started this morning. As soon as we walked between Spurs and Arsenal, there's loads of us, Spurs and Arsenal. As soon as we walked in, we was like that. They were pointing at us and we're pointing at them. It's like, now it's you. And they're doing it to us as well. Now it's you. And that was without no good morning, nothing. Straight in. A bit like our shows. Straight in. Anyway, Stowe, what's going on, man? How are you?
Listen, I'm good. I
could tell by the hat and everything. And you look good.
Before we begin, though, tonight, there's a couple of things I just need to quickly get over, right? Before we say hello to everyone in the comments. First
get
of all,
off his chest.
Some is to get off my chest. Some is like just good behavior. For example, congratulations. I don't rate him as a player, but listen, congratulations. Chicken Royale gave birth to his baby. So
this is extra football career. This is outside of football stuff.
But congratulations.
Papa
Congratulations.
Congratulations to.
Did you see his music video? Kind of like while his wife was pregnant, he like rapped in the music video with his wife.
If he's Chicken Royale, what's the baby then? Chick Royale.
It's a mini fillet.
Mini Chicken Royale. Mini fillet.
It's a mini fillet, isn't it?
Mini fillet. Congratulations.
Two-piece meal. The baby's called two-piece meal.
Chicken nugget.
It's a nugget.
You know what? No. Jokes aside, chicken nugget.
Let's move on. Come on.
Yeah, no. Congratulations to the Emerson Royale family.
The next one is congratulations. We never had a chance to say it, but big up to James Madison and Ange Postecoglou. Clean sweep, player of the month, manager of the month, and they followed it up. Normally, when you win these awards, it's the curse, but it weren't the curse on Saturday, so that was good.
I did a video on Friday about the curse. Not the curse. Curse is gone, mate.
Yeah, we put that one to bed.
Dead and buried.
Okay, and the other one is, look, I'm not calling you out, but I'm calling you out. Johnny H, who does the rounds on the channels. Now, I put this list up last week. We discussed Paratici's signings. You might not like it. Okay, that's fine. But you then called it out on a show. So I called you out saying, well, why don't you debate me on it? And he said, invite me on. I asked him what day. I'm still waiting. I've messaged you privately. I'm still waiting. People have asked you. I'm still waiting. Put your money where your mouth is and debate the Paratici view that you have and I have. And that's that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I just wanted to invite him one more time in case he chose to change his mind. Otherwise, let's pick up everyone in the chat. I'm sorry that I can't pronounce your name, buddy or lady, but thanks for joining the show. Homeless Potato. What a name. Harmless Potato. Even better.
You made it even worse.
Homeless Potato. We're struggling with Korean. We're struggling with English.
Yeah. Should we just do the whole show in Greek?
We're gone.
I thought you'd start.
Have we got any Greeks in the house in the comments from over there?
We've got one from Nicosia and then we've got John George. So there's two.
All right, cool.
But that's it. Only two. Big up Jason. Big up Graham in the house. Tony. We've got Jonas in the house. How you doing? We've got Ant. As always, SVRBG. JJ's in the house. Dean. Oh my God. Dean came up to me at the end of the game. He was in tears. He was in tears of joy. Like, I've never seen us be this good. It's been years. I forgot we could play like this. I was like, oh my God, man. Listen, Dean loves Tottenham. Like,
I'm going to go with box office on this.
No, but one minute. He's a fan that's seen us win in the 70s, win in the 80s, do a little bit in the 90s. For him, he just feels like the club is on the way back. That's what it was for him. But anyway, you can, if you want to say calm it, you can say calm it.
Calm.
LA 007 in the house.
Yeah, man, enjoy it.
Enjoy
didn't
it.
Didn't Ange say, let
he
fans
said, go
feel
mental. Go mental.
Yeah.
In the moment, you know what we like if we get a win like that and we're at the stadium and then we go to the back, by the stairs when everyone's singing their heads up. We're in the moment. We're all in the moment. In that moment, we just let it all go. But when that's over, JP's like done. Is that enough?
Yeah, but no, but I was describing Dean in the moment. That was in the moment. It was like just after the game, like two goals in the last minute. It was. Anyway, big up to Reggae Squirrel.
Yeah.
What a name that is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Big up to Benjamin. Big up to Chris. Big up to Georgiou. Big up to Luca 14, Prince. We've got PB and Jam. William in the house. 3SS Sports. Ian in the house. Spurs 72 Conrad. Big up. We've got Scott Heinem. Bertie Hotspur. Ball. I Hate Marmite. Tot Spurs, big up. East London Gooner, big up. Ian, big up. Robert. DJ's in the house. DJ, make sure you come on our show on Thursday or Friday. Just contact Iggy and I'll send you the link because I promise you could come on for the build-up to the North London derby.
Cool.
Ron's in the house.
Welcome. He's always welcome.
Jeff.
Rafish, contact me as well. You can come on Friday. You contacted me today. Big up Antonio.
Friday night show's going to be off the hook, man. Friday,
mate,
Arsenal.
Thursday night, North London is ours.
North London is ours. Yeah, I did mention that in today's morning video. I said North London is ours. Going to be lit. When is it? Wednesday or Thursday? I always get it mixed today. Thursday. Wednesday is the other one, isn't it?
Still, is that fraud going to turn up on the show? Do you reckon, or is he going to wait until after the show?
There's so many.
Stefan.
He'll be there. He's been giving it large today on WhatsApp. Simon, big up to you. Ishak, how you doing? Hope you're well. Long time. Okay,
Stel, you should try and get Alex, Coach Alex, the Arsenal one.
I'll ask him.
He was on last
I'll
time.
ask
He
him.
was on last time,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
He's good. He's a good runner for Arsenal. Be good.
Let
Good
and
chat.
Stefan kill each other.
Imagine.
We've got a super chat here. This one's for you, Iggy, from Dietrich.
No,
5-1 Inter. Iggy's gone. He's gone. He's gone. What are we going? It was only the Milan derby.
Piss off, Dietrich. This geezer only comes twice a year, you know. Twice a year to talk to me. He calls me twice a year, home and away for Inter AC Milan. Piss off, Dietrich. Listen, battle lost. We'll see at the end of the season. We'll see Wagwan at the end of the season, as the saying goes.
Thanks for your super chat and piss off.
Yeah, piss off, Dietrich. I'll give you a super
Big up
chat
to
back.
NA.
Don't worry.
Big up to Jeff.
Hey, big up, Jeff.
Language Angels,
Comments
big
gone,
up.
I'm
We've got
back.
Daniel in the house. I left over Liz. Thanks for joining us. And the club as well.
Come on. Let's say that.
Aaron Ryder, big up to you. We've got Evie, SP, big up to you. Edwards in the building. Long time, Edwards. Where you been? Dunzeldork, David
Some old
Winsley, big up
names have
to
seen
you.
that. Big up, guys. Good to see you again,
Yeah.
man. Where you lot been?
Yes. John George. Now, I know he speaks Greek. Sammy's in the house. Big up, Sammy and the boys. We've got Declan Kennedy. Big up to you. Stuart727. Matt, how you doing? Matt, if you want to come on Thursday or Friday, message me. I'll send you a link as well.
Big up, Matt.
Big up, Matt. Sophie's in the house. Rams is in the house. He thinks they're going to smash us 5-2. We will see for sure. Who else have we got here? We've got Paul Brown. Big up to you. And Keith Edwards. Guys, we've got 170 odd in the building. Smash a like, subscribe. Let's get the show up and running. Now, there really is only one place to start, people. And just in case you don't know, here's a reminder. Now, boys, listen, I was there, and all I'm going to say is this. Were the celebrations a bit over the top? Did the players go a bit OTT? Was it something that maybe we don't need to go that crazy over? Yeah, it was. But when you watch your team dominate, and when you watch your team have 28 shots, and when you watch a team come and play you, they low block, stink it out, delay, cheat, wind up, frustrate, and they just spoil the game. And then with 3 minutes to go, you snatch everything out of their hands. That's why we went mad. And it's the first time I can honestly say, I said when I went to the Man United game, the atmosphere was incredible. It was the same again. But this was the first time I went to Spurs when 12 minutes came up and I said to myself, we're going to get at least a draw. We're going to get at least a draw. There's a belief there. And it's building. We haven't quite been tested yet, but there is definitely a fundamental change. And I don't think it's like when Nuno came, 3 games. Because those games, I remember saying, we're fucking lucky. Have we got 9 points out of these games? It's not like Conte where we got off to a really good start, but it was still a bit... We're dominating games. We're dominating possession. We're dominating chances. This is different. Spurs are going at teams. We're going at teams. So that celebration was a relief, I feel, that it wasn't just a fluke. That, no, there's a change. I think it was where fans felt, do you know what? We really are changing. Because if we'd lost that 1-0, same old, same old. If we'd drawn 1-1, it's like, okay, at least we got something. But to win it the way we did, it's just a mindset change across the club, I feel. And that's why I think those celebrations happened. That was my interpretation being there. How did you guys see it from watching it on TV?
So from watching on TV, I was elated. I found it a quite frustrating game One, because of the antics that their goalkeeper and their players were playing out with all the time wasting, and the referee didn't obviously help the situation by all of his poor decisions. We played well in the sense that we had loads of chances and we were dominating the ball. So to get the equaliser and then to get the win, I think all of that pent up frustration just sort of comes out, right? And that's, I think, what happened with the fans, and certainly at home. I was watching it, and I think we said on the text, didn't we? It's probably the first time in quite a while that I sort of jumped up like I was at the stadium when we scored. However, I'm trying to control my feelings about what's happening at Spurs. I think it's, part of me agrees with Ange. We should be able to enjoy this, enjoy the good football we're playing, enjoy the togetherness and the spirit of the team, and some of the players that are coming through that are really showing what they're worth, like Basuma and Doji's, in his first season is playing brilliantly. And Maddison obviously being new as well is a player we've been dying for many years. But we should be, if you look at the last 5 games, aside from United, they're teams we should be beating. Now, okay, the manner of the wins has been great, but under Poch and under, say, Redknapp and even under AVB and stuff like that, our problem has never been beating the teams mid to lower down in the table. Our problem has always been competing with the top 6 or 7 teams. So I'm excited, but I'm just tempering my expectations, because I feel we should be beating those teams quite comfortably.
JP, Iggy, I mean, our fans getting a bit carried away, because just to show you a few comments here. I don't know if they're bantering or if they mean it, but do you believe that we can win the league this season? If Tottenham beat Arsenal and Liverpool, can you see them winning the league or at least second? I mean, this is where we've got to be careful, because we've been here before. But at the same time, there is a fundamental change. I can tell. I feel it in the stands with the fans. There is a fundamental change. I can't pretend it isn't. It's good. It's good in that stadium at the moment.
If we carry on that trajectory that we're doing right now, there's no reason why not. If we get the same sort of game, same sort of points out of games that we've had so far, if we carry on like that, why would we not feel that we should be up there?
Well, no, we're talking about winning the league. I mean, that's a bit much, isn't it? The league title. Well, Man City's an animal. I think Arsenal have got a better squad than us. Forget starting 11. I think they've got a better squad.
Right. I'm not getting carried away, right? But if we carry on the way we are now, we can.
If we win every single game still, we can do it.
All right. Let me ask you another question. Can we realistically win every single game?
It's a lunch train, man. Get on this lunch train, will you?
I'm on the train.
We know games are going to be tough, and as
I don't think we've got the squad for it, JP. That's what I mean. I don't think we've got the squad.
No, I know. A couple of injuries and Dyer's in, and like we're back to skipping Højbjerg and stuff like that, and it is what it is, right? But no, realistically, we're not going to be kind of like up there. In fairness, the next 2 games will be a good test, though. I'll tell you.
What I would add is judging by how we're playing, that we've got every chance of being up there. I wouldn't put it past us putting together a really good run or having a lot of consistency this season and winning games that typically we may lose, like yesterday's game. I think a guy on the chat basically said that last season we probably would have lost that, and he's right. Last season we probably would have lost that. But we're relying
Listen,
on
Maz,
we're
Maz.
relying on us dominating every top 6 team going forward,
Maz,
aren't we?
We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. Pape Sarr, Bissouma, and Son to Asia Cup and African Nations, December, January.
Yeah, but it all depends how far they get into that competition, though, isn't it? So
yeah, but they're guaranteed gone for the qualification stage, so at least 2-3 weeks.
we haven't got a lot of games though that month. We haven't got a lot
December,
of games.
we've got 7 games.
I think no,
January,
it's
we've got the
January,
FA Cup as well. Okay, we've
When
got
do they
4
go
league
off?
games and
Don't
FA
they go?
Cup.
Don't they go off in January?
And
We've
it comes
got
down
4
to
league
how
games and an FA Cup.
and it will come down to how that second string of players that we relied on, that one.
Bentancur, Højbjerg,
Yeah.
they're going to be
Well, let's
around.
discount Bentancur because we don't know what type of player he's going to be when he comes
that
back.
second
But
string played against Fulham.
yeah, exactly, right. And it comes down to how those guys, when they get put into the team, how they adapt and bed in. I mean, if Richarlison, and this is a big if Richarlison continues, his form that he had in the last 15 minutes of the game, then and he carries that on, 15. Then maybe
It's some form to take into the next few games, man.
Well, I mean, I actually want to talk about that later on.
If we just get 15 minutes every game.
Yeah, but and then Johnson, to be fair to him, he looked pretty good, to be honest. I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, he was unlucky, wasn't he? He was unlucky with that goal.
If two of those players slot into the system and they perform and they keep the levels up, then there's no reason why we can't be without them for 4 or 5 games. But it all comes down to what happens building up to that point, right?
Look, for me, guys, just to add a little bit of context there, like I feel if we have all our 11 players available, we can play against anyone. I'll say this. I don't know if we're going to win every game. We're not going to win every game. But what I'm saying is you'll give yourself the best chance possible with the 11 that we've been fielding, okay? That's our, so we are subjected to that first sort of 11, 12 players. Outside of that, we are not as strong. But I feel we are definitely vulnerable defensively in regards to cover. I feel like the drop off is massive if you're missing the first team players. In midfield, I reckon we can rotate. If someone's got a niggle, we got Bentancur coming back. Højbjerg can step in. Do you know what I mean? The level won't drop massively, although the first 3 at the moment are unbelievable.
You don't think Højbjerg?
I think it would. I think it would do.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying the drop off is not there. I'm saying compared to what the drop off would be in defence, if you take away Romero and Van der Ven, and then you got Dyer straight behind, you can see the drop off is huge. So in midfield, I reckon we might be able to just manage it in 1 or 2 games if someone's got a cold or something like that. Even up front, I reckon Brennan Johnson really made the desired impact. And the thing is, what's good for Brennan Johnson is that he's coming into a team where all his attributes, it's on all the attributes. All the attributes are coming into play. We're playing a style that will favour his attributes of the way they're playing, and also the context is coming into a team that's fundamentally playing well. So it's a lot easier for his integration into the team. So that's a positive thing to have. Imagine if you was coming into a struggling team, not winning, and stuff like that. The context would. Him coming into the team in a struggling team that's not winning games, not scoring, it'll be a lot harder for him to integrate. But like this, it's it's a smoother integration. But what I want to say in regards to the game, look, it's brilliant. I think everybody should enjoy moments, good moments. Ride out the bad moments, enjoy the good moments, because football is just that, guys. It's moments. Things can change from one week to another very quickly in football. So you've got to enjoy the moments. But I can see the enthusiasm is
building.
Is building and it's in the danger of spilling if we don't keep it under control. I'm gonna go with a little bit probably towards box office's way of thinking a little bit. We need to stay calm and it would game by game. And look, we've got two big tests coming up against Arsenal away and then Liverpool the following week. So that would give us a little bit more. It's good that we're going into those games with confidence of the back of good wins. but it will give us an idea of what we're up against in those games. But like I said, the other good thing about it is that we're going into this game. No injuries to Liverpool, and long may it continue. We can go in. Like I said, with this 11, I'll happily play against anyone. So, listen, calm is all I can say, because it's a long way. We're still in September. We're not even like halfway through September, just about halfway through. And
I'm listening to my manager, man. I'm going mad.
enjoy it. No, I'm saying I enjoy it. Listen, I enjoy it. I enjoy
last
it.
year was miserable, wasn't it? Last year was miserable. Finished 8th.
Saturday to
like
Saturday, Saturday to Saturday. We've got a full week to prepare the games, and it's good. We get a result. Enjoy it. Absolutely. Enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. I love the fact that we won a game that on paper looked lost. And it's like, we weren't going to turn that around. I think, I asked this morning, I said, how many of those people had hit the high street and missed both the goals? I would love to know how many of them were in the stadium.
You would have.
I probably would have. Because I would have felt the injustice. I did it against Leeds. I would have felt the injustice of losing the game that I felt we should have won. And that would have probably annoyed me. But with these minutes added on now, you can't go away anymore. Not 1-0. And you get 10 minutes, 11 minutes added on. How can you walk away, man? You have to
One thing I did notice, Iggy, while watching it on telly afterwards, was that even when it got up to 90 minutes, there was a lot of fans still there.
Yeah, there was.
And I know there was an extra 10 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever it was. But right at the end, normally even if it's like 85 and stuff, you see fans getting up.
Yeah, but that's because if there's a genuine belief, you're not going to turn it around.
Like that.
And normally, like Stel said, in the
that's
stadium,
what's changed. That's what's changed, isn't it?
The biggest hook of why fans are there at the end of it all, man, regardless of the result, is the fact that we're playing good football. And a lot of people wanted to see Spurs playing good football again.
You're right, but there's other little factors as well. Like, for example, before kickoff, now they've changed the music. They come out to Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur.
They're taking off Rod Stewart
as well, no?
It's a sing. There's more of a sing song, and also before the music comes on, yeah, JP's right. There's a trumpet. Have a look at this. This is what happens before kickoff now. And then as soon as the fans stop singing, the music starts, Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur, and the players come out the tunnel. And after the match, because we've won both home games, I guess what have done it, these kind of classic 80s, 90s, early 2000s house tunes comes on. Everyone's in the stands jumping up and down. It's a party at Tottenham at the moment. I don't know whether it's because we're just winning games, but this is happening.
Of course, that's helping.
It helps. So.
Yeah, I think the club has raised their game a bit as well this season. Yeah. I think they've.
But look, everything's always plain sailing when you're getting results and everyone's happy and everything's hunky dory. I get all of that. The tests will come, and that's when we'll find out as well. Do you remember last year we was getting like the music coming on?
Take some of my records down to White Hart Lane and drop a couple of tracks at the end of the match.
They were playing the loud music to drown out the booze last year, if you remember. So the final whistle, they literally before anyone could take.
Yeah, but the trumpets before the game.
It's great.
They don't know what the score's going to be, right?
The trumpets. You should have drums. You should have flags. You should have all of that.
The drummer's back. The drummer's up in the top of the
and the fact, I don't know. Maybe you can verify this. How before kickoff, how quickly is the stadium filling up? It fills up. Is there
people coming
before the game? You mean?
10 minutes before kickoff. The stand starts packing.
Still wait till
I still feel like
the people want to get their beers in when it's hot weather. Everyone wants to get their beers in. They want to have a bit of a social.
It's good that the club is buying into Ange as well. I think they're almost.
He's a PR dream, man. He's
a PR dream. They're reacting. They're feeding off the good vibes that Ange is giving, and obviously he's impressing the media as well, and everyone's tossing each other off basically, over him type thing. So it's good, and we should enjoy that, and it's about time we we've got this type of feeling inside the stadium, right? You know, there's nothing worse going in when everyone's sort of down.
I
And
don't want to see it till however long. I hope it stays as long away as possible. But you know, the difficult moments. I look forward. I say I look forward. I'm not looking forward to the difficult moments. I look forward to seeing how we deal with those moments.
Yes.
How we are in the press. How we in the stadium. How we in training. How we generally long may this moment continue. But I will want to see what my team is made out of, what my manager's made of, what my players are made of when those difficult moments, and that's what they are. The same moments when you're winning, it will be the same moments when you're not doing so well. To see how we ride those moments out.
That was one challenge at the weekend, right? In terms of like
playing
we that team with a low block.
That goal, that JP, the goal,
nothing happening.
Even that goal we just saw, you know, Udoji pressed up, nicked the ball off the geezer. It's put Richarlison, who had the eye to play Kulu in. Normally, you guaranteed to be tripping over the board, something stupid. He actually did the one thing that we probably didn't expect.
He did the right thing for a change.
Let me tell you something.
Vicario
running, he ran the length of the pitch, didn't he?
I've got 2 players in a headlock.
He jumped over Basuma and everything.
It's just like, you know.
He actually hurt Basuma because Basuma went down holding his leg. He injured Basuma.
I thought that was
what I'm saying is, what I'm seeing right now is a good team cohesion, a good group of players who are really playing for each other. Madison falling on the floor next to that defender, holding his leg up after we went 2-1 up.
Madison,
how can you stretch my leg? You know, things like.
Well, yeah, this was it, wasn't it? He was winding him up,
man.
in fact.
Come on, Mads.
Watch towards the end of this video. I've got it. I just got it on video.
Top boy. He's a top boy.
Banter, isn't
it? He's a top boy.
Do you know what, though? I have to say as well, something I noticed. You know what? I was a bit concerned about Ange in terms of a defensive mindset, that he was very attacking, and his mindset was, as long as we score more goals, we'll be all right. I don't really focus too much on defending. But I saw something against Sheffield. So when we were 1-0 down, he took off a centre-back, brought on a midfielder. He shrunk the defence, overloaded the midfield, brought on an extra attacker. Now, that was the right thing to do. That's what you want to see your manager do. Just go for it. You know, let's just see. And it paid off. But as soon as we scored the second goal, if anyone gets a chance, go back and watch the game and just see what Ange does. He doesn't celebrate. He does a little, yes.
It makes him go back to 4, right?
JP, the first thing that popped in his head is, I've got to sort out that defense because I've made it weaker for the attack.
Yeah.
That, my friends, is what you call an experienced manager. He doesn't get caught up in the moment. The emotion never got the better of him. He realized the situation he was in, and it's the final whistle when he really celebrates. And he did. He went around, clapped everyone. But for the last minute or two, because there was still a couple of minutes, his brain said, right, we've got to shore up the defense. And I have to say, man, I never thought Ange had that in there. He really surprised me because that's not the manager I thought he was. But listen, I've got nothing but praise for him.
The thing is as well.
One thing I'll say, sorry, Mas, 2 seconds. One thing also I'll say is I heard, I can't remember who it was now. They were saying, like, obviously the subs, he made the subs a bit later than maybe a lot of people were expecting, right? But apparently he was expecting there to be a lot of injury time. So therefore, or kind of like added on time. So therefore he held off the subs to as late as possible so that they would, knowing that they would get a lot weaker and our guys would be fresher.
That's risky.
It is those little things.
It works.
Those little things,
risky,
though, isn't it?
Listen, when it pays off, it's brilliant.
Exactly. And I think one thing as well that feeds to the crowd and the players is because he's so calm and so almost confident in himself that what he's doing will work. Yeah, that I think that just gives so much confidence to the players that they just completely trust him. So when he's giving them instructions, they really do listen and they pay attention to what he's saying. And we heard it last year, didn't we? When Conte or Mourinho was saying, I'm telling them to go forward and they're going back or whatever they're doing.
I think with him now, I think what's happening is that that side of his game, the coaching part of it, is getting done on the training ground. So when it goes to the match, he just watches to see what's been, what's been sorted out in training. If actually, it happens during the match, so he stays calm. It doesn't say anything to them because they should already know. And he always said that at the beginning, he said that the players are doing right now what he's asking them to do, but they hadn't quite got into believing what it is that they're doing. I think what's happening now is on top of being asked to do what he's telling them to do, they are now also believing they're getting the fruits of, like, do you know what? Actually, what he's asking them to do works. And now I, as a player, I believe in it totally. But look, all of this is great and all of this is fine. And the time of substitution, making tactical changes in the moments that you think he could go with the fairies, but he's there level-headed, thinking about the game every single minute of the game. These things will also come into play, and this is where what I was saying earlier on about the difficult moments is if that clarity of thought is in there too, when the moments are not great for you, in the players, when the moments are not going for you. Well, that's when the test will come.
You see the character, right?
Hopefully, by that point, when we do go through those moments, it would be in a month or 2-3 months' time, and the team would have really got even more bonded together to say, do you know what, we can handle it. And the pressure moments, or when the character needs, like next Sunday or Sunday afternoon, the character will need to go to the Emirates. We need to go there with character. We need to go there with presence. We can't let things. So I'm keen to find out these answers that I have of my questions I have in my head. When we go to these grounds, will we present ourselves, or will it be? I'm glad that we win, because I think the
2 weeks will be a
confidence
good
is
challenge,
massive.
though,
Yeah,
right?
but I think it will be a little bit clear indication. We would have played 6-7 games by this point, close to the 10-game mark, which I always have in my mind as well. We've spoken about this here on before. We always look at 10 games and get a general picture of what Spurs is going to do this season. So, look, I'm enjoying. It's great vibes. It's important
every
to have
game,
that,
win
because
the league.
last year was absolutely, it stank last year, and this year we've started it from
It stank ever since the Champions League final when we didn't back Poch properly.
I know,
but
just
later. It's been
to keep it
stinking
theme,
for 4 years.
I don't want to go too far back. I'm just saying, on the back of last season, which was really bad, it's nice to have.
On the game management thing, though, it would be really interesting on your point, Iggy, how Ange manages the players during those big games, especially like Arsenal, because Poch geared up the players to go toe to toe with the bigger teams. Battle of the Bridge, and we went into those games with a bit of fire in our belly. Mourinho, he was very tactically aware, wasn't he? And he controlled the players. Absolutely. Conte, well, done well or didn't? We did done well in the first little stint, but in the second stint, it wasn't as good as what we thought. But I wonder what Ange's going to do, though. I wonder though how is he going to temper Romero in that game against Arsenal? Is he going to what is he going to say to each of the players so that we don't get a stupid yellow cards or the sending offs, or how we manage the game? That's what I'll be interested in.
That's the test, isn't it? That's the test. Sorry, Stella, what was you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I think as well, Ange has been dealt slightly better cards, but not massively, in the sense that he's lost the best striker we've had in ages, but he's also gained a left back where previous managers had to use Ben Davies or Sessegnon. He's gained a good centre back where the previous managers had to use Tanganga, Joe Rodon, Dyer, Clement Longley. He's also gained an attacking mid, which we never had before. So, and he's also gained Vicario when the others had to deal with Lloris, who was clumsy. So I think the players that he's also inherited through the transfer window has really helped him as well. I wonder what he would have done if he had Dyer at the back, Ben Davies at left
Yeah,
back, Lucas Moura
true.
attacking mid, and Hugo. Would
True.
this will be happening now? If he did this with them, then I'd say we've got the best manager in the world.
And,
Like we've literally got the best manager in the world.
Still, and
So,
this is where I'm coming
balance
from in
as well.
terms of
I'm not knocking
tempering
Lange.
our.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it
Yeah.
with Lange, but I'm just saying.
But tempering our expectations, right? Because, and you heard it, you hear it on the media and what all the fan shows and everything. It's like, oh yeah, well we're playing so much better football than Conte and Jose and stuff. Yes, absolutely, we are playing much better football and it's more entertaining and so far so good. But as you said, that those managers had dross in the team. We didn't clear out the dead wood. So it's not apples. It's not apples to apples, is it?
I think though, when you I think modern day footballers are pretty much with the same mindset. If you offer them a product where they can play an attacking way and attacking numbers in the way that we do, and
It's
high
more
line,
enjoyable,
and
isn't
blah blah
it?
blah. It's more enjoyable for a player.
Yeah.
You also have to have
A
you also
football
have to
player,
have it in you.
even a defender, a goalkeeper, they're going to be more receptive to someone who's offering them attacking football than say a bit more defensive-minded football. We know why Conte played as defensive as he was, because he didn't trust his bloody defense. But at the end of the day, I don't know the ins and outs, and there's no point. Look, Conte's came and he's gone. I think we just need to move forward now with what we got, with the players that we got, with the manager that we have, and like I said, as long as we keep that first 11 fit, particularly at the back, I do feel the fundamental now is, and I've always said it, I've wanted these players to play as long as possible. The goalkeeper with this defense and Madison in front of them. I think if we can keep that spine or that part of that spine together as much as we can, I think we always got a chance. I think if any of those players are missing in those vital areas, I think we're going to feel it. I think in midfield, you might get away with not having Sarr. With Madison, if he gets a cold, you got Lo Celso, you got those players that can come in and replace him for 1 or 2 games. Up front, we can. We've added Brennan Johnson.
Can I ask you a question
I did say last week, I did say Kulusevski was recovering. I said I saw a player that was on the up. I said it last week in this show.
Well,
and this week I saw.
It's funny you say that, because there's a question here that said, I hear some other channels saying Kulu was very poor in the game. I couldn't disagree more.
I don't get it, man. I don't know.
One thing I want to show you, right, to every Spurs fan. What a lot of fans don't do is they don't watch what players do off the ball. Like sometimes you just got to see what they're doing off the ball.
That's the problem with watching it on telly, though. Still,
yeah, on telly. But even when you're at the game, you kind of you get a bigger picture. But we still get drawn in by where the action is. Now, this isn't made up. These are facts. In the Premier League, no player has covered more ground than Kulusevski. He's number 1 in the Premier League, ahead of Bruno Fernandes, Declan Rice, Doucouré, Rodri, Phillips, Guimaraes, Szoboszlai, Fernandes, Gross. So he is covering the ground.
I see his importance in the team, man. I see it. Even when I'm watching on the telly, I haven't been to White Hart Lane this season. I just think, though, what needs to happen is that work rate needs to convert into assists and goals. Now, he's beginning to show it. The previous game, you can see he was doing all the right things. It just wasn't quite coming off. Listen, the way he just glided past that man and then took the shot, that's the Kulusevski that we... maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like Terence says, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What Kulusevski are you lot seeing? You tell me. You was at the game. You tell me.
Terence, these are facts.
You tell me. You was at the game. You've been at the game. JP, you've been at games, and still you've been at this. This is now the second. What put Kulusevski?
It's like I said. He just needs now to get a couple of assists and start scoring goals, and then I think we're going to see the Kulusevski.
Well, let's be fair though, as well.
And I think he's beginning now to get there. He's beginning.
Has he not got? Is it 2 goals and 1 assist he's got, or is it just 2 goals?
But he's come back from a long shitty injury period, Maz. He comes back from a bad injury.
But that's not bad for 5 games. 2 goals, 1 assist. I mean, we'll take that, wouldn't we? Yeah.
He's a fantasy player. He's not going to be your hardest working player. But then
if that carries on, he'll score between 12 to 15 goals this season if he carries on.
There we go.
Yeah. And that's what you want from a player like him. You want him to get double figures.
As you're saying, hard-working player, Iggy, but he actually puts it in, right? I think the only frustrating thing with him at the moment is he seems to always cut back and play the ball back, right? As opposed to like chucking a cross in here and there. Whereas whoever plays on the left-hand side tends to also chuck a cross in the middle.
Yeah, JP, I noticed that in the Sheffield United game, he did take it on his weaker foot a lot more than he
he's
did
been doing
in
a
other
lot
games.
more. Yeah, good point, good spot.
And also as well, I think it was it the Burnley game? I said it when I came.
He's trying to vary up his game a little bit, Mads. I don't know if you're noticing it. He's trying to vary it up a little bit.
I said a couple of games ago when everyone was saying, "Oh, well, Kulu's not doing," I said he kept trying to make things happen. He always asks for the ball. You know, he's always willing to take the man on. Yeah, fine. He doesn't.
I'm not saying he's been amazing. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying there's not. Of course, there's more growth. There has to be more growth.
He's only 23.
But he's trying.
What I'm saying.
You know, he's trying, and it's not as if. And the thing is, as well, I think what's different with Kulu is it's not as if he hasn't got the quality. You can see he's got the quality. You can see he's got a good touch. You can see that he can take on a man. So he's not making stupid mistakes. He's just not to the standards that we think he can reach to. That's my opinion anyway. I'm with you, Iggy. I can see him improving. I can see him getting back to his old self.
Yeah. The thing
I'm
is,
not worried about Kulu.
I would love to ask Porro, Emerson, and even the forwards if they love having him there. I would love to ask.
You don't need to, but you don't need to because there's some hypocrisy here now. Because on the one hand, you've got 99% of our fan base saying Ange is the man, Ange is great, Ange ball's here, we're going places, blah blah blah. Well, then if you believe that, you've got to believe the starting 11 that he picks week in, week out. And Kulu is one of those players that starts week in, week out.
I reckon
he dropped Dyer. He dropped Ben Davies. He's dropped Højbjerg. He's pretty much dropped Skip. He rested Richarlison. So for Ange to say, right, these players aren't quite working, take Son out. But yeah, I'm going to start Kulu every game. You have got to trust the manager. Otherwise, don't say he's great. You can't big him up and then not trust the selection.
Still, people are forgetting that he's come from a injury-ridden season.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I don't understand. Like it takes a while to get back into the swing of it. He's always in a Swedish national team. He's a always repping there.
He played well for Sweden in international game.
So what I'm saying, I'm seeing from last season post-injury, I'm seeing slowly coming back to his level. He's not there. Some of the guys are saying in the comments, I hear he needs to take more players on. He needs to do this. And I'm not saying he's not got to do those things, but I'm already in this season. I've seen him improvements. He's not quite the Kulusevski that joined us, but I think he's in the right path, and I think he'll get there. And you're right. If Andrew's picking him as his first choice right forward, there's got to be a reason, man. It's got to be a reason.
Trust the manager. If you're going to pick up the manager, you've got to trust the manager, otherwise you can't pick up the manager.
I think a key thing still is he made loads of late subs, right? Brendan Johnson came on and everything. He kept Kulu on. Look who scored the winner.
Because he has that in his locker. He has that in his locker. He's maybe inconsistent with it, but he's definitely got it in him. The way I feel Brendan Johnson, he has that in him. Son has that in him. There are match winners. Madison's got that in. We've got options there. We have match winners in the team, and I think players like Kulu will make. He's gonna have a drop off here and there, but I think he's on the right trajectory there.
Iggy, the simple sub would have been to leave Son on, take Kulu off, and put Johnson
just going to
there, right?
show that he hasn't got a problem taking Son off. He hasn't got a problem taking him off. He hasn't got a problem taking any of the forwards players off. Honestly, I believe that he will make the right choice.
You have to trust him now. You have to trust him now, right?
Listen, for sure. And that said, in the next couple of games, we will see. We will see like how all unfolds. I think I'll have a better picture of our team once we've had these two little tests. Well, they're not little tests, but they're two good tests.
Just a couple of stats as well from the game. So if it's too small for some people, but the middle one is quite interesting. The XG timeline. As the game went on, our XG went up and up and up. So the expected goals that we just went up and up and up as the game went on.
But that's because we had like about 30 shots, didn't we?
Yeah, but what? No, but the expected, like how many should we be scoring? It just went up and up as the game went on. So we improved as the game went on. Also, in general, fitness as well, yeah. We dominated possession. Shots 28, just insane. Shots on target 10, so that's almost 1 in 3. XG was almost 2. Touches on the ball, doubles of theirs. 32 crosses, almost triple the amount of passes. The passing accuracy is averaging between 87 to 92, which is very, very high for a team. Touches in the opposition box 55. I mean, look, there's a trend building. They're the typical stats we're seeing every game. Will that be the same against Arsenal, Liverpool? If it is, we're going to beat them. If it is,
was
a
good cross. Was a good cross by Perisic though.
See, Perisic, you know,
bring him on to that part of the game.
I really almost want him to have a run in the team because
has he got the engine though, Maz, for the game?
I think he's making an impact. I think he's better at making impact.
But Solomon's got the stamina, but he's lacking the end product. Solomon.
Yeah.
You kind of want to bring him on last 20 minutes, isn't it?
I think
Perisic's stats though. I mean, like
how many? His quality, listen, his technical level.
He's the best crosser of the ball in the club, mate. He's the best crosser of the ball in the club.
I feel right now in this team, his purpose for me in this moment is coming off the bench and impacting in the way that he's doing. I think he's doing that brilliantly. From the start, he's not quite the same player, man.
I don't know. There's got to be a reason though why he does it for Croatia, and he's, you know, he's a starter for them and he's banging in the goals and he's playing brilliantly. I mean, why can't he do that with Ange? You know, maybe we just got to try him and see and give him an opportunity as well.
I think he will get his opportunities though. I think he will definitely get an opportunity in games to come. I think there's going to be games where...
Didn't he get an opportunity against Fulham?
Yeah, but you know what? That we keep going back to that one there. But how many times is he going to ever make 9 changes again in his team? I don't know, man. Is there going to be a league game where we'll make nine changes? Never. So you can make changes to a starting 11. You can make 2 bar 3 changes, but you know, 2-3 changes are fine. And when you're making 9 changes, that's never going to happen again. So
the thing is, if he's got to do
to the fair to that game. For me, it's pointless.
If he's got a Doogie behind him, then it means he doesn't have to track back so much, right? So like literally playing in this team,
in this team, I'd absolutely play him in that forward left. I wouldn't play him where Udogie is playing.
No, but I mean because he's got him behind him, he's a hell of a lot more solid, and he's got him covered, isn't he? Even if he goes up, he's got enough pace in him to get back, probably overtake Perisic, and still win the ball.
I think he will play. He will play a part in the next few games. I do. I don't know if Arsenal and Liverpool are going to be the ones, but I think further ahead he will have it. He will rotate, especially in the forwards. I feel anyway.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys about Richarlison. Okay, so
look, the treatment's working.
I'm not going to put a downer on it, but I'm. Well, this is what I'm going to ask you, actually. He put out a comment that he needed some help.
I'd be still waiting for an appointment.
Some psychological help. I mean, I don't believe for 1 second from the day he put that statement out, he's received treatment, recovered, and suddenly he's all okay. Yeah, he came on the pitch, didn't have any issues. He was fine. I'm just a bit dubious about all of this now. I'm not going to call it out because, you know, you never know. But
no, you shouldn't make joke. Maybe I was wrong to him and say that.
I'm just saying it just seems a bit odd.
Maybe just getting it out there has helped him.
2 days. Yeah, but hold on a minute. 2 days before the game, I need to speak to someone. I need help. I'm going to I'm going to go see a specialist in England. And then 2 days later, he scores a really good header. The assist is, look, it's a 4-yard pass, but he still released the ball.
He had the clarity and thought to do it, man. And which we haven't
seen. Like I said, he still released
stepping
the ball.
over footballs and shit.
Yeah,
Ange's response to it was the best response.
No, but I agree. All I'm saying is to make a 4-yard pass isn't spectacular, but
it's not for him. Is
but the fact is, he came on the pitch. He scored a goal. He created. So that's what you want your sub to do.
That's positive. Of course, it's a
maximum impact he could have. But I just want to know. I thought he was.
Yeah, but look, right. Ange's response to the whole thing was, in my opinion, was perfect, right? Because and he's, I'm not going to repeat everything he said, but effectively he said, look, everyone goes through something in their life. Everyone's got to deal with issues, off the pitch, or whether it's your work life or whatever it is. But what he can control is his football, right? So, and in that respect, he came on the pitch and he done what he needed to do, and that's great for him. And whatever is happening outside of the football and in his personal life, I guess we wish him all the best, and we hope he recovers. And for me, he has to prove it on the pitch regardless of what's happening outside of it. And that's what I want to see. Now, I'm ecstatic that he done well when he came on, but for me, he had 2 moments in the game, and those 2 moments he done well. For the rest of it, I didn't see what everyone else was seeing. To me, I didn't think he played brilliant. I just think in those 2 moments he done very, very well. And if that's what he needs to do in other moments in other games to finish his chances, that's fine.
Do you know, Maz, when you go to work, okay? When you go to work, sorry, real quick, JB. When you go to work, okay, if you are going to work, then you're repping the company that you're working for, and therefore you're expected to provide what you're getting paid for, a delivery. That's essentially what you're getting asked to do. If you're not in the right frame of mind, if you're having issues, which can happen in everyday life, everyone's got them for sure, and you can't offer a service in a company you're working for where as there's a level of expectancy which is required from you because you're getting paid well for it, then you have to take yourself out of it, go on sick till you get better, to then come back to offer the service. And that's the predicament. Richarlison's no different to any other people at work. We are judging him on his work. He's there getting paid and paid very well for it, and he's expected to deliver a return through his work, scoring goals, assisting goals. What he did on Sunday or Saturday, sorry, he did that well, and that's what we're judging him for. Anything outside of that, if that starts to influence what he's expected to do on the pitch, then he needs to go, like I said, go off sick, take some time out. When he's ready and better mentally to come and do his job, we will judge him back there again. Nothing to do with off the field. We'll be judging him on the field. So
completely agree.
That's how you got to look. It's 2 separate things, man. Your work and your
and Ange said that though, didn't he? He did say that in his, and I loved his press conference. He, I was waxing lyrical on the WhatsApp. He's just so impressive in the way he handled that specific situation, especially.
Listen, he's experienced it off his own back. He's from a working class family. He's emigrated to another country, so he's seen a lot of difficulties that he's experienced in firsthand.
He said he lost his dad as well 3 years ago, so that's probably
3 years
changed
ago.
his mindset as well.
He's seen the immigration part from when leaving his home in Greece, whatever it was, to go to live in Australia. Saw the difficulty his dad had not speaking the language. He's seen it firsthand. He's the first generation Australian, so he's seen it. So when you're saying the real difficulty, poverty and all of that, so he's those experiences, he's sharing it with us. He's essentially sharing it with us, and so he gets it. He does understand it, and he's got a full, he's aware of it, what's going on around him. So it's good. It's good for him. And look, like I said, man, what more can I say on the subject? Listen, I hope Richarlison gets himself sorted out in that aspect of things. If it does boil over onto the football pitch, which is where we judge him, then he can't step on the pitch until he's resolved that, and then deliver us what he's there to do, man. And which is what he gets paid well for, the club he plays for. So that's for any player, not just him, man.
Just a couple of questions to go through before we move on. The first one here. One question for all this boom and sound, but if Ange gets 6 this season, because he thinks Brighton and Newcastle are better, so therefore we'll get 6, will it be better than Conte getting 4th? For me, the answer is no.
No.
How could he be better than 4th? I don't.
Because we haven't got Harry Kane. It's Ange's first season in the Premier League. Adjusting to a new league. Conte's
no for me.
Yeah, but Conte had Dyer, Davies, Sanchez, and Chicken Royale as his back 4. So
listen, I've put
no. Yeah, you're right. It's true. Conte getting 4th was impressive. It was.
And don't forget where he picked up the team from. Yeah, and when the format we were in when he picked it up, we was in our form of
Well,
relegation.
Ange didn't really. Ange just picked up a club that was in a mess.
I agree. I'm
There's
not. I'm
no
not
denying
comparing.
Ange has done
All I'm
amazing.
trying to. I'm not trying to compare the two things. I'm
but
trying to
from
say
where
that
Conte came in,
he
I
picked up
I
the
think
team
that
that was in relegation form. We weren't scoring goals. We was conceding for fun, and then he did what he had to do and got us fourth in that season. So, listen, that alone was impressive. What happens after? People forget remember the second season. They forget that part there, man. He picked us up from the shit, man, and he had the Hurricane issue as well. There's a lot of things he did that season, which he did
he
very
sorted
well.
a lot out of them.
Yeah, second half of the season we kicked on with the signing of Bentancur and Kulusevski. But listen, for me, I'm not putting any expectation on Ange for 6th, 4th, 3rd, 4th. I think this season he's got to get the things together, trying to improve us, which is what he's doing. If we can add in a couple of more players,
Where do you think we'll finish?
January. Listen, I'll take. Listen, for me, if we get back in Europe, Europa, or even better if we can do Champions. But even Europa, man, if we can get back in Europe for
So
next
top
season,
6.
that's already a good start for me. I
So
think.
where do you think we'll finish?
It's hard. It's too early to say. Honestly, still, it really is too early to say, man. We played no games, man. We've literally played 4 or 5 games. Well, it's too early. Ask me this question after 10
Let's
games.
change the question. Let's change the question.
If we win every single game,
we might win the league.
Is this true, by the way? Is this true about the time?
Yeah, it's 2
Is
p.m.
this-
But that's the
yeah.
thing. But hold on. See, this is why I brought it up. William, he asks, can we talk about the fact that the North London Derby is 2 p.m. and not 4:30? This is a good thing because Arsenal are playing midweek in the Champions League. They've got less time for recovery. This is actually in our benefit. I think this works to advantage. And plus, they've got Martinelli, who's now got his hamstring. He's pawned it. He's out for 5,
but you know
6
what?
weeks.
Trossard's no mug, man.
He's no mug, but he's got to play an extra game now that they weren't expecting to. So it gives us fresher legs, I think. I think this is better for us, personally speaking. I don't know what you guys think.
To answer your question earlier, though, still,
I don't think it makes a difference. Sorry, just to answer the kickoff.
2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, don't matter, does it?
Yeah,
I was going to say to answer your question earlier, it is too early to call. But if Chelsea and Man United continue this lull that they're in, then there is an opportunity there. There is a gap for us to step in, because you're going to have Man City, Arsenal up there, and then it's Newcastle, then us and Liverpool fighting for 4th.
Well, Maz, take this question on then. Right, take this question on, right? Ashraf says, interested to know you and the panel's thoughts on Poch's start at Chelsea. You might as well chuck in Ten Hag at Man United because right now those 2 clubs are in the mud. They're not even playing good football. They don't look like
Chelsea's
winning.
a mess. I mean, they've spent £1 billion, and you know the
mate. Did you see that striker's shot? Did you see that striker's shot?
Unbelievable.
It's you know they are in a mess. I mean, to defend Poch, I mean the first 6 months with us was a mess as well. So we've got to judge him. Come January, we're going to know, aren't we, where Chelsea are going to be at the end of the season, I think.
The thing is, right, I think Chelsea have got a better chance of recovering because 1, they haven't got European football, and 2, they've got 5 key players out and they will come back. Yeah. So I think they're better. Whereas United, I think they're in big trouble because they've got problems off the field with their players.
Some mayhem over there, isn't
and they have got Champions League. They've got Bayern Munich this week. Harry Kane is going to pull their pants down. They're going to tear you. I'm telling you, they're going to tear United to pieces unless Ten Hag goes in and does what he did against Arsenal and just defends for 90 minutes and tries to grab a counter attack. But I don't know, man. I think United are in big trouble.
He'll be mad if he goes there and tries to go toe to toe with Bayern Munich. It's a suicide for United. Yeah. Absolute suicide.
But if he goes and stinks it out, it's more negativity. It's more depression. It's more. What is this?
That's what Jose would have done, though. It's exactly what Jose would do, though, wouldn't he? If he was in that situation.
Yeah, of course.
Look at the grief he got. And he won him a cup.
Question here saying, I mean, this is just a sour hammer. Just watching Burnley win 2-1 Forest. They are playing better football than Spurs. So what's all the fuss about? Well, you say that, but when Spurs played Burnley, we didn't just smash them. We outplayed them. So how are they playing better than Spurs? I don't understand that.
We gave
It's
him a
1-1
high
anyway.
five.
What's he talking about?
So it was 2-1.
It's 1-1. Just checked it now.
It's 1-1.
There must have been a VAR decision then when he probably got excited in it.
It can't be that good if he's here watching this, and it has, if it's that good of a game, he's watching.
Burnley got a red. Burnley got a red card. Burnley got red card and 7 minutes add time added on.
Ah, man,
I don't know. There you go. I'm only reading the comments. Right. I want to share this with you guys. Okay. So I put a tweet out earlier in the week saying Eric Dyer, Højbjerg, Hugo Lloris, they were the players committee, right? They were the ones running this players union, so to speak. None of them feature for Spurs anymore. None of them played for Spurs anymore. They're all on the bench. They've all been replaced by Romero, Son and Madders, the new leaders of the club. Why are they still at this club? Like, what on earth are we doing keeping them at this club? Now, this Australian fan replied, and I actually was interested by his reply. What do you think of this, right? This was his answer to my question. Hi, I'm Australian, and I've been following Ange's career for decades. He respects experienced players and will keep them around as long as they buy into his plans. He's also a master at identifying coaches. His whole life, he's a man manager. There's no better person to be in the ear of Hugo Lloris and Ange. Lloris will stick around and perform and be a mentor. Look what Ange did for Joe Hart at Celtic. And I thought, do you know what? It's true. He got a number
brilliant
out of Joe
comment.
Hart.
I said that last week, right? Kind of Hugo being a poke.
By the way, sorry, JP, big up to this guy. What's his name? Polite Body. Big up to you, by the way.
Polite Body. Hugo being a coach. At the end of the day, but like, the main thing, he didn't want to leave to go to Nice and stuff for a project. He didn't want to Lazio to play second fiddle.
Yeah, I agree with you there, JP. But I do think we need to be respectful, though, to Lloris. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't like. I don't like lumping Højbjerg and Lloris in the same camp as Davies, Sanchez, and Dyer. They're totally two ends of the spectrum. One, Lloris was a brilliant goalkeeper for us, and he was with us for 11 years. So we have to respect him for that, and fine, the last season. I mean, look at the defense that was in front of him, for crying out loud. That Lloris wasn't the main reason why we shipped in so many goals. Yeah, he made mistakes in games, but Dyer and Davies and Sanchez were far more culpable in my book than Hugo Lloris. And Højbjerg, again, I think Brian Daigle said it a million times. We ran that guy into the ground for the last 4 seasons. I mean, how many games has Højbjerg missed for us?
Yeah, plays every game.
I've heard Ali Gold say that Højbjerg has been a model professional,
service,
right? And since he's come back and he's buying into Ange and there, so I don't mind Højbjerg being around, and in a weird way, I don't mind Lloris being around, judging by what that gentleman said in that comment and what he does.
It's just Dyer. We've got a problem with it, right?
We've just got Dyer. Yeah, he's the problem.
No, for me, the Højbjerg thing. We obviously where he was in talks of possibly leaving, and Atletico Madrid. There was talks of him going there, and there was a fee, and I thought we would use that money to get somebody a bit more suitable for Postecoglou's game, which is probably why we was linked with Conor Gallagher for a while. What's up?
Sorry. That's the comment of the show.
Hot flavored lollipops.
Useless.
For me, that's regarding Højbjerg, but I don't have a problem having him in the squad for this year. Being part of the rotation, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. I do think the 3 that we're currently playing are the best 3 that we have at the club. But Højbjerg, in the context of being a squad and rotating, not an issue with it at all. Although I still think he should have stepped up for the Fulham penalty shootout. He didn't do that. That annoyed me because he's a leader. He's taking them from Denmark, and that pissed me off. It made me question where his head's at with regarding Spurs. But perhaps his head was that at that point he was leaving Spurs because the market was still open. In regards to Lloris, My issue with Lloris is nothing to do with the whole Dyer. You're right, Maz. I don't put that in the same context as a Dyer conversation. My thing with Lloris is that he didn't come out half time, second half at Newcastle away, where the team was in complete disarray, and they needed their captain, and he was the first one that jumped ship. Now it got put down that he was injured at half time. For me, that was all bullshit. There was an argument that happened in the changing rooms, and he thought, "Fuck this! I'm not stepping out of there." Second half, and left his team to get run ragged without their captain on the pitch. That for me, it's still very much ingrained in my brain. Secondly, he made it clear he wanted out.
Agreed.
Okay, Postecoglou hadn't arrived at that point, or it certainly was early days when he made that decision. Didn't do the tour, so he'd already counted himself out. The whole thing with the transfer market didn't go to the way that he wanted, and nothing enticed him. Maybe there was a change of heart, maybe this or that, but we got 5 goalkeepers now. 5 goalkeepers. His decisions, or the decision for him to stay, has undoubtedly impacted the ones that were already submerged in the project. I'm talking about Foster. I'm talking about Whiteman. I'm talking about Austin. These guys are all committed to staying, and because of him now staying, it might have impacted their way of thinking in this club. Now, I don't have a problem if the decision was that Luis was going to stay and stay as a second goalkeeper or backup goalkeeper, and in this project where he was, with Postecoglou, then say it, announce it, and so in that way, if we decided to go with that, we should have loaned one of the 2 other guys out. It doesn't sit right with me that at this point of the season we got 5
Iggy.
goalkeepers at the club.
All right, Iggy.
No other club in world
Great.
football has got 5 goalkeepers in the first team. None.
Great
That
points,
will be
Iggy,
a problem. Maybe
but-
not today, but it will be a problem further down the
Yeah,
line.
Iggy, great points, right? But let me pose a question. I guess it's to everyone, right?
Can I say real quick?
what-
I don't think Foster was a disaster during the match. I think it was a disaster during the penalty shootout. I
Yeah,
want the 2
correct.
things to be separate. He was
Yeah.
good during the match.
He made some saves during the match.
Yep.
for
Yeah,
sure.
he did. Right. It comes down, for me, it comes down to what type of a club do we want to be? Do we want to be that club that just gets rid of our legends as soon as they have one failing, right? Or a couple of failings? Or do we want to be a club that honours our legends, right? Because Lloris has been with us for 11 years. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with you. I'm not going to repeat everything you said, but on the main points
The
that you
last
said, I'm
moments.
with you. But what type of a club do we want to be? Are we just going to cast him out now, right? Don't give him a send off and say, right, you fucked up. See you later, mate. Off you go, and then just erase the 11 years that it's been with us.
No, Maz, what I'm saying is the last we heard of him, he wanted out. Since he's stayed, we've not heard nothing else. This is what I'm saying. Like, we know what's happened and why he's staying, but there's not been a follow-up conversation. I'm not talking about within the camp. I'm talking about with us as fans to say, guys, I'm Tottenham. I'm here. I'm here to help Vicario. I want something to be said, and this is the
I agree.
communication I've always had a problem with at this club. There's still lots of improvement needs to have. But if the situation is changed in the company where millions of fans follow you, and you had 1 month, the last we heard of Lloris is he wanted out after Newcastle, and yet again this summer. Since he's decided, the decision for him to stay has been. Nothing's been said in that merit, and that's what I want. I want to hear that.
C-Cubed is right. It is the club's fault though, because up
I agree.
until
Absolutely.
up until last season, right? He was the number 1, and we only had Forster, didn't we, as the backup?
Yeah.
Right. So it was beholden on Tottenham to have bought a keeper and say, "Here you go, thank you very much, mate, but we don't need you anymore on your bike."
Listen, I agree. It's the club. C-Cubed, I agree. I said it. It's the club. The communication from this club has always been a bit wayward, always. And I want, when these things happen, I want them to be clarified, because if you know where you're going, you don't get lost. So all I want is a little bit clarification, and when things such as a player that, because the last in my head is he was leaving. He's not part of this. He's not. What's going on now? Is there weirdness? He's an ex-captain. He's no longer captain. He was lucky to even still have his number 1 shirt. That should have gone to Vicario, because as far as we were concerned, he was leaving. But Vicario, out of respect, since it's like Lloris hasn't left, I can't take his number. I'll play with the 13 until that number becomes available. In the same way, Maddison hadn't been given a number, and he thought, I'm going to wait till the Kane leaves. I can't just take the 10 off him. But once he left, and then he took the 10. That's what I'm saying. he's lucky to have a number. So stripped of the captaincy, Stowe just mentioned about the committee
It's
group.
impacting
So I'm
other
saying,
members in
what
the team.
with him at the club not playing, nothing's been said, everything's quiet. I don't want a situation where this committee, where it was at the front of the house, is now at the back of the house, and they could be causing just as much damage there because they're not part of a pro. Could you imagine? It's like I said it in another stream. It's like having your main actors of a film or a TV soap, whatever, and all of a sudden these main actors are now become extras who just get the odd line here and there. How's that sit? And the other actors have taken their role. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want a situation where we have disgruntled 3 or 4 players who were once great at this club, and all of a sudden they're not part of it. They're not the main actors. They're not the main stars anymore. They can't. Don't tell me that they will settle for that. No one would settle for that voluntarily. And that's what worries me further down the line, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to be a problem now, but I fail to believe that these guys, for the importance that they had in the first team, they're now going to be like, you know what? We're okay to like not play a single minute, just be involved. Unless, like the guy in the chat said, the Celtic fan said, he's changed their way of thinking and got him involved in that coaching part. If that's true, then I'm all for it.
But
the
then
doubt
come
is in
out
my
and tell
mind,
us,
man.
right?
The doubt, no
Hugo's going
communication.
to be a player coach.
No communication, and this is my problem.
Like that, right?
JP, that's my issue.
I think they're both still here because no one's going to pay Dyer's wages.
At default, it's default.
Contract ends in a year, and also Hugo Lloris is on good money. So
200 grand, as someone said. Is that right?
Who's going to pay him that?
Hell,
who's going to pay him those wages? So I think it's just business.
It's like a divorce. It's like a couple.
Way to end.
A couple who are separated but still living together. That's for me. That's a situation right now. A couple is separated, can't afford to divorce, but they're living in the same house. That's how I see it, guys.
Right. Talking about being together, I'm going to change the subject a bit here, right? Now, this isn't Levy out day, but I do need to talk about this. So Daniel Levy put some comments out this week.
It's not Levy out, but it's not. We're not saying it's Levy in.
I'm just because you're talking about together, relationship, right? I want to read these comments, okay? This is what the chairman said.
I know where you're going with this.
N17.
There we
it's
go.
More than just a place. It's where we dare.
This is Chris Cowling stuff.
No, this is what Daniel Levy said.
Yeah, but that was Chris Cowling's post.
Yeah, but he just copied what Daniel Levy said, right? So Daniel Levy said, N17, it's more than just a place. It's where we dare. It's where we do, all of us as one. It's home to our history, our heritage, and our past. But it's where we focus on the present and the future too, because today is the day when we build the foundations for tomorrow. Foundations that will change lives for generations. Foundations that create extraordinary experiences, memories to cherish forever, and moments which bond us together. It's where we unleash our creativity and welcome the world to our culture, to our community, where our rich diversity shines with pride and purpose, because we all rise when we lift others. Dream, dare, do together. Now, I've only got one issue with this statement, other than the fact it's been scripted, and I think Donna Cullen is no longer doing the job, and he's got someone else doing the job, which Phil P pointed out to me, and I agree. But it's this together bit, right? I have never done anything together with Daniel Levy. 90% of his decisions I disagree with. 90% of his tenureship I disagree with. And 90% of me still wants him gone. I never asked him to bring in Nuno together. I never told him to sack Conte Mourinho before cup final for Jose together. I never told him to sack Poch and not back him together. I never told him to get rid of Dembele before a Champions League final and not replace him together. I never told him to do any of this together. So can someone explain this to me, especially this together bit?
Dream,
is he trying too hard? Is he trying too hard?
Alistair Gold said that was part of the manifesto internally in the club.
It's the new motto.
Right? So, but the way it reads, it doesn't seem like it's a manifesto. It seems like it's a statement to people rather than it being a manifesto, to be honest.
Is he trying too hard? you think the chairman's trying to?
I found it really cringy, if I'm honest with you, but that's only because we know what Levy's like, and we've got 23 years to fall back on in terms of his his behaviour, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But what can I say? I mean, it's Levy, so I mean, do you really believe anything that he's said?
For me, if he really meant that, he should have come out last season when we were on our knees and addressed the fans with something like that when we were on our knees. Not now when with what
everything's good and momentum's good and stuff.
Well, from the minutes of that they had with the fan advisory board, it was like a shareholder meeting talking about their P&L and what revenue streams they're going to improve upon and stuff like that. So it's just all corporate nonsense, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not. It's just what is it to us fans? It doesn't mean anything. The only thing that means something, let's be honest, right? The only thing that means something is Ange getting us to play good football? Are we winning? Is he building the team that he wants to build? That's the only tangible things we can rely on with Tottenham Hotspur. Everything else is just the same old regurgitated fluff that he's been doing for the last 23 years. That's my take on it anyway.
JP, you got anything to add on that?
I mean, I can't say I disagree with Maz, to be honest. It is pretty much PR, marketing, fluff, bull, as you say. It's kind of the thing that, like once every 5 years, like, you get companies that want to put a little bit of oomph under everyone and, yeah, let's all do a rah, rah, rah and come out with a new statement. I mean, at the end of the day, reading that, it almost sounds a load of bollocks anyway, right? What have they dared and what have they done?
And dream. It's not to dare, it's to do now. It's dream, dare, do.
Gaga's coming. I wonder who's.
Maybe that's what it means.
Who signed up for next year?
We're only going to win in our dreams. We're going to win the Champions League, but it's going to be in our dreams. It's not actually going to happen. But at least we'll be dreaming together.
Yeah.
I just think
virtual win.
See, someone had a go at me for my reply to those comments, and I said to him, "Listen, man. For me, the amount of damage that's been done doesn't get fixed by 5 games of good football. If you want me to start showing respect and being on board with the ownership, I respect the team, I respect the team, but the ownership, then he better build a trophy-winning squad and not just one little Carabao Cup. I think Maz mentioned it last week. We need a couple of years of back-to-back trophies for us to say, do you know what? Okay, respect." And I'm still in that place.
That's why I'm not getting excited.
Test one still will be the January window.
Yeah,
right.
But that's why I'm not getting excited. I mean, like, as much I love Ange. Honestly, I find him so impressive. What he's done in the first 5 games has been phenomenal. But deep down, I can't trust Levy that he's gonna do what we need him to do consistently over the next 3-4 years. So until we start winning trophies, I'm not sure I can really get as excited as everyone else. I just can't.
See, what's interesting, right, is that that I went and found the fan advisory board, the minutes to the meeting, okay, and I downloaded it and I went through it, all the questions the fan advisory board members asked Daniel Levy and Donna Cullen, all the answers they gave them. And I read the whole thing, right? I'll put, if anyone wants to read this, go to Tottenham Way Twitter. There's a link on there. I'll put it there. And I went through this, okay? I'm not going to go through it all now with everyone. Whenever there was a question asked about success, glory, the direction of the club, not once at any stage did anyone on the board, and it was Donna Cullen and Daniel Levy that answered most of the questions, did they mention the words trophies, silverware, nothing. That wasn't mentioned. The words self-sustainable kept on coming up. Ambition,
financial security for the future,
building a competitive team. there was no ambition or kind of assurance that, yeah,
Or the
we
word
know
win.
we've got to win trophies, or we know we've got to start winning silverware. None of that. And that, for me, for all the positivity that we're experiencing right now, I've got a concern that if Ange makes us a top 4 regular again, like Poch did, and we start getting to semi-finals and doing well in the Champions League, are they going to back him the way they didn't back Poch? Because if they don't, then this is all a waste of time. And if I'm going to go by those fan advisory comments, the minutes of the meeting, there was nothing in there that suggests that they will, and that's a bit worrying for me.
You know, just managing expectations. Is that what he's trying to do?
Answering Colin Richards for a second. He said we're playing great attacking football, and all we want, and sorry, that we all wanted, right? Hello, it's here. So let's just be just
This is
enjoy
a different
it
subject, though.
and
This is a different subject.
and like be grateful. But that's not enough for me, Colin. It's not enough for me. We've had that with Poch, and we've been through that, and we've been through, oh, let's get a winning manager, and let's go this way, and let's go that way, and all throughout that, we've not actually achieved any glory. We've not been to had the opportunity. Lucky enough, I ended up going to the final with Man United. I went to the final against Chelsea, and in '81, I did see the FA Cup. But recently, I've had nothing to show my children any success, have any great days out, win anything in the final, be able to parade it up Tottenham High Road. I've not had that. And that's what I want more than anything. I want that enjoyment.
It's that same type of comment we've got our Spurs back. What Spurs are they talking about? You know, just playing good football. Tottenham doesn't just need playing good football. We need to be challenging for things. We need to be at least challenging for cups, because that's traditionally what we've been.
Well,
right?
we trashed the Carabao Cup because we were experimenting with players.
And so I'm totally with JP.
Be grateful that we were experimenting. Be grateful.
You know, but just saying, oh, let's be grateful we're playing good football now. Well, no, you know, we had like exactly what JP said. We had good football under Poch. We had good football under Redknapp. We had good football under Joel, right? And where did that get us? Nowhere.
And Redknapp.
And yeah, Redknapp. You know, I actually think we played the best football under Redknapp, to be honest with you. It might be the players who we had there at the time, but it's we need more than that.
And that's fine, Colin. Like, I know obviously you want to win and all the fans want to win, but that's why we're saying we're not just accepting it. Just be happy that we've got good football. It's great and it's a start.
JP, John, the problem is, you see, like this is something I hear from a lot of fans. Every team wants that, right? There's an issue with this comment. First of all, not every team is in the big six. We are. Not every team has got the financial power that we do. We're one of those clubs that's got that clout. And not every team has spent £600 million in 4 years to go backwards, which we did. So I think there's got to be some context put on this. We have got what it takes to win silverware. There's no doubt. It's whether the decisions to deploy those, the ammunition that we've now got to go and do it. It's whether they say, do you know what? Hit the button. Let's go for it. That's my concern, because when I read that fan advisory board, the minutes to the meeting, there was nothing in there suggesting that. And that was a bit worrying for me. There was the usual kind of PR words like, you know, we want to be competitive, we're ambitious. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear we want to win the Premier League in the next 5 years. We want to win an FA Cup in the next 3 years. We want to get to a European Cup final again. I want to hear that. Then they'll be held accountable. You see?
Exactly. That's the problem with making statements like that. It's like people like Chelsea, or be it Man City, or be it Man United and stuff. They can come out and make those statements because they will back the right player for the team. Even if they get it wrong, they'll continuously do it. So they know that they're giving their manager or their team an opportunity to actually win it.
Maybe JP, we just got to pray that Ange, like this comment says, Ange will want that Ange See, I've got this kind of theory actually that I've developed in my head that if Ange can win the love of the fans so much that the thought of losing him and not backing him, the heartbreak that would create would turn all the fans against Levy. So therefore, Levy.
Yeah, but that's the same thing we said
No,
with
this is different.
Same thing
No,
with
this is
Conte
different,
as well, right?
Iggy, this is different. This is different. I'll
There's
tell you
more
why.
excuses.
No, I'll tell you why.
Now you're starting to sound deluded.
No, because you've jumped the gun again. You've shot your load. You've gone too soon, right? You've done it again. No, the reason I'm saying is
Don't
with
start
me.
me off, man. I just got rid of
I'm gonna start you off because for me, I'm gonna say it.
Man.
Listen, I'm gonna say it. I've got no issues saying it.
Don't
I
worry,
think
I'll be
it's
saying
slightly.
it as well. Go on.
I said, let me finish my point before you just go make a mess of it.
Make your point.
Right?
You're
digging a hole
me off.
for yourself. You're digging a hole.
I'm
right?
digging my hole for myself.
And
carry on.
Yeah, you are. And
receipts,
right?
Receipts, bro.
And
receipts. I'm
what
clipping
receipts?
this.
But you haven't heard what I'm going to say. What receipts?
I'm clipping it. Hang on. I'm clipping it. 1 hour and 30 minutes and 45. I'll be clipping this. Go on.
Look. These are your receipts. Blanks. Right.
There we are.
The point I'm going to make.
I've got a book here. Right. Let me write this. I'm getting my pen.
What I was going to say is, I think Ange is slightly different in terms of the affection fans have got for him. And I'll tell you why. As much as we loved Poch, and as much as Poch was brilliant, and he took us to places we never thought we'd get close to,
he's magic,
Ange's answers to questions are better than any manager I think we've had under Enoch and Levy, right? I'll give you an example. This for me just wins over fans, right? He was asked, are you just enjoying a honeymoon period? And his reply was, are you married? I don't know what your honeymoon was like, but mine didn't have me losing the greatest player in the history of this club, trying to scramble to get players into the club, fighting for everything I have to do, mate. That's not what my honeymoon was about. Comments like that, I get Chelsea fans, JP, I get Chelsea fans, Gooners, Liverpool, I get all sorts of fans replying to me saying, loving this guy. Rival fans saying, I'm loving this guy. Listen, you can banner it all you much. I'm putting it out there, right? I think fans are going to end up. No, of course you're not. Of course you're not interrupting. Sitting there like, yeah, not interrupting. Yeah, right.
I'm just taking notes. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect your opinion.
I'll tell you what. You want to interrupt right now. I'll bring him back when I finish my speech, right? No. Okay. I personally think that fans will end up liking Ange more than what they did with Poch, which I never thought was possible for a manager at Spurs. But I think our fans will get to that place. And therefore, the thought of wrecking it with Ange, I think that level of heartbreak with him will turn the fans against Levy. And I think Levy will actually get put into a corner. Call me deluded, call me wrong, say still shut up. But I think that's the way it's going to go. Whether Levy backs him or not, I don't know. All right, he probably won't. But
personally, I will say
I don't even know.
Levy will play a very dangerous game, though. He'll play a very dangerous game this time round with Ange. I think he will. I think
he
it's a very
played
dangerous
it well
game
against Jose. He played that game against Mourinho.
Fans didn't like Jose. Fans didn't like Jose.
No, they don't like anyone.
It does. No. They loved Poch.
Listen,
but they've learned.
First
fans
of all,
have learned
let me start by saying this.
No, but Iggy, but after Poch, fans then realised, shit, we should have backed Poch because this is what we get. They're not going to want that to happen with Ange. I'm telling you.
What are they going to do?
That PR dream they do. That dream, their dream do whatever. It's just PR bollocks that's come out at a time where they've made that statement that they put it out there whilst we're like in cloud nine of the start of the season that this is happening here. This statement comes out here, but we're so focused there. That's like it's one of them ones where it just goes under the radar. All these things go under the. No. I'm starting out. I'm bringing it back to what this conversation where it started from. In response to that, that's all stuff. Where was he when he was missing? Where was he?
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm bringing it to the common point.
Let's do it all over again.
No, I didn't respond. I didn't. You didn't ask me. I didn't give my opinion on that one. You brought the thing up, but I didn't even say my opinion.
All right, yeah.
You can make notes. I'm telling you now, the same shit will happen with the same old managers. Keep those receipts. The same shit would on. Listen, at the moment, I don't want to
Yeah, but
bring
I'm
this
talking about
down.
the
All
fans,
jokes
Iggy. I'm
aside,
talking how the fans will feel
I
this
will get
time.
to the fans if you let me.
Right.
If you let me, I'll get them as well.
Oh, okay.
My point is, at the moment, I don't want to bring it down where I'm going to go in on the board because my opinion on them has not changed. They've not given me anything to make my thinking change. That when it matters, they will step in and do the right thing, or certainly what I feel is the right thing for the club. In the same, so for me right now, Andrew's doing what he's got to do. He's got the players on board. He's doing everything's fine, and I'm enjoying that part of it. But do I believe, and I'm in line with Maz, what he said earlier on, do I believe when the going gets tough or the manager's having a bit of bother, perhaps he needs a little bit of support and backing from the owners to say, we got your back, mate. We got your back. Carry on. It's a difficult, sticky moment. You may have one or two players out, but we will back you. As soon as January market opens and the transfer opens again in summer, we will back you with the players because we like what you're doing at this club. Do I believe that that's going to happen? That will remain a question mark until I actually see it happening. And so far, they've never given me a reason to change my mind towards them because it's never happened. We will see what happened with Ange in due course. In regards to what you're saying about the vibe is different and stuff like that, maybe this, he's built. I know what you're saying. Is he building a rod for his back? Like he can, if it gets to a point where he fucks Ainge off and he sacks him for whatever reason, the fans will turn. I don't think they will. I honestly don't. I don't believe they will. I don't believe
I've never seen Iggy. You haven't been to that stadium yet. I'm telling you, I've never seen Spurs so quickly into a season. The passion and love for the manager in that stadium, Poch never had that. I'm telling you. When you go to one game, you'll be like, do you know what? I see what Stel's trying to say.
Man. I saw love for Poch, man. I saw love for
not after 5 games like this. It's crazy.
No, but
it's big up.
Yeah, but is
that's come back of 2-3 really
disappointing
season with shitty football? And all there's you've got to look at it where he comes from.
It's the way he handles the media. It's the way he speaks to the players. It's the way rival fans like him as well.
You believe that when he comes on, because let's have one thing right, okay? Ange Postecoglou will go through a difficult phase, a difficult moment with his club. It will happen. It will.
Yeah, of course.
A time where he gets becomes unstuck.
Well. He said it will.
It will get a point where it will get to this. At the moment is like
he's anticipating it. He knows it's coming. Like he's even said it.
Okay, that's when I want to see how the club reacts. And so far, I've not had anything to believe. I hope, like everybody else here, guys, I hope that he does get the support and the backing. And I'm not talking about backing. I'm talking about proper backing in say, you know what? We can see where your difficulties are. We need to sort that out. And as a club, will we act that? I would love to see that happen. And then maybe on then I will start changing my way of thinking towards our owners. Will it happen? I don't know, man.
No, hold on. Let me clarify. I'm not changing my thinking towards the ownership. What I'm saying is, I honestly think this time round, with the manager we've got,
if they get rid of him,
that his connection with the fans, if Levy dares break that, I think he's in massive trouble. I don't think he can dare break it unless Ange, we go on a 20-game losing streak and we're relegation and it all goes, then that's different. But I honestly think if they don't back him, and they don't stick with this guy who I think is going to build a better connection with the fans than what Poch did, and I never thought that was possible, but I think he will. I think Levy's going to put himself really
mate, Levy's like Teflon, mate. Nothing sticks.
I think this is a different situation.
Nothing sticks.
Fans know what it's like without Ange. Fans know what it's like without Ange, and they know what it was like with Poch and what it's like with Ange. I don't think he can do it.
We've got to see. We've got to wait and see.
In this thing, I want you to be right. I do want you to be right. I don't know.
Bottom line is, I'll say I agree with Iggy. I can't see the fans turning because they just don't. Right? For whatever reason, they just don't. And God forbid that day comes, we'll obviously find out. Obviously, we don't want that to happen yet. But I don't see the fans turning. But you're right, Stel, in terms of he is gaining the followers or whatever kind of like whatever way you want to put it. Because even, you know, that thing about we were talking earlier in terms of go out and enjoy it, go mad, go dream. Like he came out and said it, right? Let the fans get as deluded. Let the fans get as deluded as they want. But it's up to us to match their expectation, right? And that's things like that. Saying things like that does get everyone kind of G'd up and behind him and behind the team and everything. So he is playing the right cards, he's playing the right game, and everyone has bought into this, and you can see it heading in the right direction. But when the bad times come, as Iggy was saying, you want someone to have his back. You want someone to have his back, right?
I want the club present. You're right, JP. Yes, that's
Otherwise,
what I want.
You'll be the same as Conte. He's sitting there going, "Where's this person?
Everyone?
Oh, I don't know. Where's that person? Oh, I don't know. Are you buying anyone? Oh, I've got to wait and see. We'll wait and see."
Our managers, you're right. Our managers have always been deserted. Always.
All of those times is, I don't want to see him coming out now when the times are good talking to people. It's those times you want to see the business behind you, the team behind you, have your back and stand up for you to give you a bit of shelter and a bit of cover. That's when you want to see it. Yeah. And God forbid the day comes, if he gets rid of him, I don't think the fans will revolt or anything like that. They'll just, because there'll be a new name that comes in,
another phenomenon that comes
and
in,
and then everyone will just go, right, yeah, let's
listen. I do want you to be right on this. I do want you to. I just have my reservation on it because I know how this club operates when it comes to managers, and when we have a good team, we have a tendency to fuck it up. That's all I'm saying. Listen, all I'm doing right now, I'm enjoying the ride, man. I'm enjoying the ride.
I'm the biggest Levy out, right? I'm Levy out to the end.
No,
yeah, we all are. But it's not the point.
I just feel that when your manager says things like, he went on Talk Sport. None of our managers have ever gone on Talk Sport. He goes on Talk Sport. He puts himself in front of Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan questioned him on Levy, questioned him on the club, and he said, "Look, it's on me. What happens from here on now is on me. I don't want to hear about the chairman. I don't want to hear about this. You put it on me. This is my show. I make these choices. I don't want to hear." The way he's owning it and the way he's just getting everyone out there loving him, and the way he's so humble with his answers, he just connects with you on a human level.
He's almost perfect. It's almost perfect, right? But still, here's the only thing.
Can Levy break that bond with the fans that he's building? I think he can't.
I'm not sure. Right.
If he ends up going to do that.
I think there's another question.
Look,
that
he never
will
agreed
arise
with me.
from it.
Dingo says I'm right for once, right? He never agrees with me. There you go. I've got a new fan. I'm doing Mange.
I think the more interesting question is, if Ange fails, right, where the hell does Levy go? Because he's literally tried every combination of manager going, right? And that is the thing that may make the fans just think, well, what the hell do we do now?
He survived them all, mate.
That was Conte, that was Mourinho, and that was...
He survived them all. Last chance saloon, last roll of the dice. He survived it all, mate.
Last spin of the wheel. But let me
survived it all, mate.
Let me counter that. By the way, thank you to Gaguma, another super chat. God bless you, Princess, a queen.
Big up, Gaguma.
Just to counter that then. If Ange fails, I'm going to say it's going to be down to him not being backed. The same reason Poch failed,
100%.
Jose, Conte. So therefore, but this is my point. If Levy doesn't back the guy that the fans end up falling in love with the most out of everyone we've had under Edic and Levy, I think Levy's genuinely fucked. I think the majority of fans will once and for all say, do you know what, Levy, you went too far this time, man. You went too far. I do believe that. Because I think Ange's going to get more power than what Levy's got in terms of connection with the people that can force the change. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You are making sense. You are making sense. I just don't know, man. I don't know, guys. I'll be honest with you. Listen, you know me, man. Like, big up, Murray. Listen, you know me, man. For since I was fucking super optimistic, man. Last year, that killed me, man. From that top four, you lot know what the journey I went. When the top four, I was buzzing, man. For the next
We
year
all
was going
were.
to be, and that's what I'm saying. That last season, fucking killed my belief in it all. Now I'm enjoying the ride, and that's right now is all I'm doing. If you ask me to get into the nitty gritty, if it comes down to it, like now, I want this moment to go as long as possible. I want Ainge to actually solidify his situation, position, his journey. I want all of that. But if you're asking me, but when it comes to the crunch, that collision course where we are on the way of going here and we all want to go here and something's blocking us from going here and all of a sudden starts going the other way. If you're asking me when we get to that point, because it will happen, if this journey goes really well, it will happen at some point that he needs to go a step up higher. I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know with these
This
guys.
is where I think the conflict's going to happen, right? And this is where it's going to be certainly be a much different challenge to what Andrew's ever faced before, because he's won titles and cups everywhere he's gone, but this is the Premier League, and to win anything in the Premier League, you have to have a special team and a special manager to do so, generally, right? And there's going to become a point where he's going to think, look, I want to win something, right? He said it as well, right? He's here to build a team that's geared up to win, right? And there's going to come a point where he's going to need a player or two to take that next step to win an FA Cup, to win the League Cup, or to try and challenge for the league. And it's at that juncture where he's going to effectively figure out whether Spurs is the right club for him. Because if he's second in the league or third in the league or in the final in the FA Cup and he doesn't get that defender he wants in January or that striker he wants in the summer, whenever that is Ange going to be? Is Ange going to stick to his principles then and think, you know what, this is not the club for me, and leave? Because if he's sticks by what he says, then he should be that guy, right?
Maz, it could be a situation. Forget it, not even for the league, not even for the show, man. Just it's not. It may not even be for the league. It could be like European spots. It could be the difference of making it to Europa, but the difference making it to Champions League. He could be in that moment when you're thinking, "Come on, man, give him that little help, so next season we could go again." I don't know, guys. I don't know, Marvin. Sorry, go on.
It relates to my answer. It's just everybody right now. My heart is with this team in the ride that we're on.
Absolutely. I don't want to get away from that.
But my head suffers from post-traumatic Levy disorder. Right? My head suffers from post-traumatic.
And that's a good analogy, man.
And my heart is all Ange in. And the thing is, my heart tells me, wow, he's going to take us to the promised
land.
Glory. But my head says that with Levy in the board, we're just going to get enough. And enough is Champions League. And then it's going to stop. The same way with Harry Redknapp, for me. The same thing with Poch. Even with Conte, because he got us to Champions League. And then
Murray, sorry to interrupt you. Murray,
I suffer from this. And so
Murray, one minute. But my question wasn't what Levy will do. My question is Ange building the kind of connection and love with the fan base that's actually bigger than what Poch built?
Yes.
Right. Therefore,
he's very charismatic. He is very charismatic.
Okay. So, Murray, the question is, therefore, if Ange has so many people on his side, media, rivals, our fan base, and he's got such a following where they say, no, we want Ange. Can Levy afford to get it wrong with this guy? That's the question I'm asking, because I think if he does, I think he's going to lose. I think Levy's in deep, deep trouble.
Here's my answer. Like I said, my heart desires what might not happen, because my head's telling me post-traumatic Levy disorder, that Levy, no one changes Levy. That includes Ange, right? All this goodwill, all this connection with the fans, right? When the rubber hits the road, when the final nail hits the coffin, The only person that can change Levy is Daniel Levy. And Levy, from the 23-year history, proven Levy does what Levy does. It doesn't matter if you're Conte, Parch, Redknapp, Ange, Pep, Klopp. That's what my head tells me, right? And I refuse to go with my head. I choose to go with my heart and be gullible, right now. But when you're telling me to think with my head, I kind of know how the script is going. Get us to Champions League. Okay, great. You read the comment from the.
So Mari, therefore, we're just waiting for this to fall apart then.
My head doesn't want to believe that.
That's the reality.
But it's all predicated on whether Ange does well, though, right?
But we've just established for him to do well, like you said, he's going to need that one centre back just before the cup final. He's going to need that one striker. So if he doesn't get what he needs, therefore, what I said, if he doesn't get
no, that's not what I mean. Still, what I mean is for Ange to build that connection that you're referring to, we need to do well. As in, we need to qualify for the Champions League. We need to be in semis of the cup competitions or a final, right? Because it's a little bit different situation to Joel, because Joel took us from the pits to a team challenging for Europe, and there was a transition. Yeah, right. So we bonded with him then. Then we bonded with Redknapp because then he took us on a little bit further than Joel, right? And then Poch then took us on a little bit further. But for Ange to build that connection, he almost needs to get us back to what Poch was doing. I don't feel that just being fifth or sixth is gonna build that bond.
Have you been 1 minute, Maz? Sorry, Mari, to be talking to you like that. Maz, have you been to a home game yet?
Not this season, no.
Right. When you go, I am telling you, there is it's not even an upward vibe. It is a complete reversal, man. And I've never seen it like that, even with Poch. Actually, in the old stadium, it was a bit like that. In the old stadium, but in this new stadium, but the trumpet, the drummer, from the minute the game starts, the whole back of the South Stand is bouncing up and down for 20 minutes, singing Postecoglou for 20 minutes, and everyone's just, everyone's in their seat, just man. I'm telling you, something has changed in that ground. Look. Maybe 4 losses in a row and it all goes away and you're all going to say, "Still, man, do you remember that stupid podcast on Monday when you got carried away again?" Man? But I just feel this guy's winning over people.
If he pulls, because I know Levy, I also know this fan base because it's so fickle. If he pulls another Carabao Cup 9 substitutions in the FA Cup, and then we go on the loser streak, like box office says. This fan base is we're quick to love you. We love you, and we're quick to drop you like a bad habit. This club, we will love you like the media, and we are quick to drop you like a bad habit when we don't like you. Right? You saw that with Conte. Everybody, Conte. We hate Conte. We hate Poch. Like this club. Trust me, we'll love you quickly, but we'll drop you like a bad habit.
But Mari, here's the problem though. Here's the problem, right? Before Poch, it began to go wrong. Don't call me manager, just call me coach. I'm not the manager anymore. And before the Champions League final,
the same thing happened.
But hold on. Before the Champions League final, right? So we're going into a Champions League final. We need maximum energy, maximum positivity. And Poch, who I love to bits, he said, "If I win the Champions League, it's time to go." Right? That's not what you want to hear. Conte, he hit us with truth bombs, and the fans can handle it. But at the same time, with those truth bombs, he was also saying things like, "These players are to blame. He's to blame. I'm bigger than the club." Mourinho, when he was here, he threw Dele Alli under a bus. He threw Ndombele under a bus. He threw this player under a bus. When we lost to Dinamo Zagreb, he took no accountability for that. Not that I'm saying they're wrong, but when I see Ange and the media, this is a different animal. This is an experienced, calm strategist. I honestly think we might have found a gem with this guy. Maybe I'm going to. But
he's very
I
feel. I agree.
Murray, but I think that's what's building the bond. And as it goes on, the bond will be so tight. I think Levy's fucked. I genuinely think it's going. Levy can't break this bond.
Still, look at the week where we were.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm in the mud.
We were so mad that Tuesday when he made those nice substitutions. Everybody, most people were like going crazy. By Saturday, we love Edge. We love him. So you're right. You're right that in the sense of they really love this guy. But like I said, if we start losing, and I'm not talking about losing one game or 2 games here. Like if it starts, like when thing hits the fan and starts looking like the end of last season, this fan base, like I said, they will love you. Hey, we love you, and then it'll be the same group that will crucify you and drop you like a bad habit, like that.
But they wanted Poch. They wanted Poch at one point, right?
Yeah.
Listen, for as
Kind of
long as
like
he's got
towards
his
the end
first
of this thing.
11, for as long as he's got his first 11 or as closest to the
Anyways,
first 11,
that day will come and we can discuss that, right?
think we'll be fine. I think we'll play well against any team, but he can't afford to lose anybody in this journey. And the good thing about it is that he's only got one game a week, so the probability of it happening is less than if you had European Cups, European games. So look, for as long as I think he will hold his own, and I think those questions will need to be answered further down the line when the crossroads will happen. But for now, I don't want to get.
Enjoy
I
it.
don't want to
Enjoy it.
enjoy. I don't want
Enjoy
us to look
today,
too
man.
far ahead, because looking too far ahead makes us lose sight of the present. And I think we shouldn't look too far, man. In my opinion, but
First hurdle, still will be the January window.
yeah, and we'll see
Then
where
we'll
we're at
see.
with that, man.
First hurdle is this weekend,
Arsenal, mate. Arsenal.
That's the first hurdle.
The Arsenal.
I'm on to the Liverpool game now.
If we lose badly, and then we've got Liverpool and we lose, these 2 games now, that bond may be delayed.
I just want us to be present every minute, every second of that game, first half and second half, just to be present and fight, and then after that, if our team does that from the first whistle to the last whistle, I'll accept any outcome.
Well, let's get into the next games. Just quickly.
Yeah, let's get into that real quick, and I need to shoot, man.
I wanted to reply to this because it's been sitting there for a while in the back end. Arsenal fans are crying out for Ange to play a high line against Tottenham. If he does, they think Spurs will try and press them. They will batter you guys. The thing is, that's what we want Arsenal to do to us as well. We want that. So I think this is going to be a very close game because both teams don't want to play a low block. Both teams want to play against.
Isn't it?
They will both play the same way.
5-5. They will both
play exactly how they are. Arsenal will not change their ways, and neither will Tottenham.
Right, let's get into it. So the league table as it stands, Man City are top, and then joint second is Tottenham, Liverpool, and Arsenal with 13 points. We're ahead on goal difference. Well, actually, no, we're tied with Liverpool. No, we're not, because we've scored more for. So we're just ahead of Liverpool. But look, grand scheme of things, Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal, the only clubs in the Premier League to go without a defeat so far. Brighton doing bits as well. West Ham, they're up there as well, despite their loss. So very interesting league table. Our next 5 games, which is all we're going to look at because we don't want to go too far ahead, are Arsenal away, Liverpool at home. Then we've got Luton Town away, Fulham at home, and then Crystal Palace away. So what do you think of the next 5 games, guys? Realistically, out of 15 points, you'd expect us to get at least minimum 9. Yeah?
There's a hell of a lot of away games we've had, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all away.
Second half,
that could work. Listen, if we keep winning our away games, then if we've got more games second half of the season at home in front of our fans, it could work out.
Brilliant. Works in our favour,
Yeah, I can see us get 15 points there.
I mean, look, let's do the Liverpool game first. There was a question here from Michael who said, "How will the North London derby play out?" Who wants to go first on this one? Also, thank you very much. We've got a super sticker here from London Broil. Big up for your super sticker. Thank you very much for the donation to the channel. What What do you reckon?
I think that the game against Arsenal will be won in midfield if we've got Maddison and Basuma firing, which I believe then gives confidence to people like Romero and VDV to do what they do. Then we'll give them a damn good game, and we may come with a win or a draw out of it. I can't see us losing if we got our Maddison and Basuma playing really well, and Sarr as well. To be fair, they're playing, they're singing, and they're battling in that midfield, and they're not making it easy for them. Then I think we've got a really good chance. Liverpool, I'm not sure if I'm honest with you for Liverpool.
I think it's going to be a wide open game. I honestly think it's going to be 2-2, 2-2, 3-3. I think it's going to be wide open. And if it's 3-3, I'm happy. I'm happy with that result. If we walk in there with a draw, I think it's possible. I'll take it. I'm saying 3-3. It's gonna be wide open.
Do you know what? I definitely think it's going to be an open game. I think the key areas are going to be their defense against our defense. If Romero and Van der Ven hold tight, I think that's where kind of the key areas are. And I think Sonny will be on it. Like he'll be through the middle. I think kind of like Deki will do his running, his harassing and stuff like that. I think Saka will come up against a brick wall with a Dogi. So I'd like to think that he'll like nullify him. It's the other side, I guess, is my concern. But I'm hearing now that Martinelli's out. Is he?
Yeah.
Is it
Got
Martinelli
Trossard,
that's out?
Yeah, they've got Trossard, who's good.
Yeah.
They've got Kai Havertz, who's an exceptional talent.
Well, it'd be great if he played. But
Yeah.
I'm going Anstrain, mate. I'm going Anstrain. 3-2 to us or 4-3 to us even. But I do think it'll be an open game full of goals. Because I don't think we'll change our game in any way. I don't think we'll go there with a low block. I think our midfield should be on literally these guys should be on cloud 9. They should be feeling like they could take on anyone. And in the last couple of games, I know it's a derby and form goes out the window and kind of like all of that stuff, but I can see our midfield overrunning their midfield. I can see Declan Rice being pushed back a hell of a lot compared to him imposing himself on the opposition's penalty area.
Odegaard's had a fantastic season so far, though. I have to say, Odegaard's looking really good.
Well, this is where
One hard knock by Basuma, and we'll see.
I'll tell you what, I think our most underrated player this season has been Porro. I think he's been excellent. Yeah, a shaky first
did
start.
Did you see that little kind of behind his turn and kind of half Cruyff turn thing with the ball?
I think his defending is getting better as well, and his positioning and his awareness is getting better. I really think he's improving. I can see improvement in him. And
offensively, 100%.
Awesome.
Kind of like defensively, I think that's the only place that I worry, and it's that ball over the top to Trossard.
But he's only suffered from that in the first game. Was it the first game of the season or second game? That's where he suffered, didn't he? But since then, he's been good defensively. So
my go on, Iggy, you go.
No. All I was going to say, I'll just real quickly before I go. All I was going to say is, listen. For all the planning that you can have, and I'm sure we'll prepare well for the game. For all the planning, you need to have a little bit of luck as well going there. Like some of the decisions not going for you rather than always going against you. Referees that always get, and I'm not making excuses. It's just like I feel like even as good as they were last year, and as probably as bad as we were last year, we was very much in the game. But certain situations, episodes, the goalkeeper with Luis making an error, and the Emerson sending off killed us. So certain moments like that, if they could just kind of even out a little bit, then I think we can make a real game of it. I do agree with you guys. I think we if we are going to win that game, it's going to be one in midfield. but I do feel they can hurt us in the wide areas. I feel that that's where they can win the game for them, is in the wide areas. Udogie up against Saka, look, that's going to be a big test for Udogie.
Yeah.
You know, if he can really handle that away from home, because against Man United we was at home. This is going to be away. This is a different animal.
Saka's not played that well this season.
He's
though.
a
No,
big
but
boy,
it's still North
been
London
okay.
derby in front of your fans. Saka will raise his game, and I do feel if they're going to win the game, it's going to be in the wide areas, and if we're going to win it, it's going to be we have to dominate the middle of the park. But I do believe that we need it needs to be a strong referee that doesn't get sucked in for any North London derby.
not like that idiot we had at the weekend.
Well, you know, you need to have a bit of good fortune and stuff like that. And when we get the chances to take them, because often we've had some chances and we've not taken them, and we've ended up getting punished for that. It's a tough game to call because both teams are doing really well. In the contrary to what you guys are going to be goals, I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think it's going to be like there's a marginal. It's going to be. I reckon I could see like a 1-1 or 2-1. I don't know, man. It's a tough one to call. But I just hope, like I said, that first of all, we're very present every moment of the game. We arrive there, actually, not just arrive there, but actually physically, mentally be in the game and ride out the difficult moments, which they will then come up triumphs, hopefully by concluding the chances that we create. That's all I'm asking for, man. After that, like I said, I'll accept any outcome. Guys, that's me, man. I'm gonna shoot off, but big up to you guys. Big up to everyone in the chat. Love you all, man.
Ciao,
Appreciate
Iggy.
it.
Big up, Iggy. Take
Ciao,
care, buddy.
We'll see you in the morning video tomorrow, right? Good night, guys.
Ciao.
man.
Take care, Iggy. Big up. So my take on the North London derby. Well, first of all, I'm going. It's my first ever North London derby at the Arsenal, so I can't wait to go down there.
Really?
Yeah, I got given a ticket from the academy
Oh,
out of nowhere as well.
you'll enjoy it. It's really good.
Yeah, listen.
Well,
if we get thumped, I'm gonna hate it.
yeah,
If
you
we
will
get
hate it if
thumped,
you lose.
I'm gonna love it. Right? If we,
It'll be
do you know what? I can handle.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
just the
handle.
way it is, isn't it?
I can handle losing if we've really given it a goal. But if we roll over and get pumped, I'm going to lose my mind, right? I
can't see this team rolling over though still, can you?
Well, this is it. I personally think first 15, 20 minutes, Arsenal are going to be on top of us. We just got to ride it. They're going to come out, whether they've got injuries or not, Champions League or not, the adrenaline, the fans, they're going to be fired, yeah? If we ride that, then for me, I think it's going to be toe-to-toe. I don't think we'll beat them. We've won once there in 23 years, and we've gone there with some good teams. Like we've taken some good teams with some good finishers to Arsenal, and we still haven't got the rub of the green. So I don't think we'll beat them, but I honestly think we will get the draw. I do think somehow we will get the draw. And for me, I think this game is going to be won by the goalies. Is who steps up, Vicario or Ramsdale Araya. I think they're going to be the ones that we're going to be talking about at the end of the game. Because I do think a lot's going to be created. We're creating 28 shots per game. Arsenal are going to, at home, they'll do something similar. I think the best goalie will win the day. I hope we win it, of course. I'm a Spurs fan. If we do lose by one goal, so be it. But I think we can. I think we will get the draw, man. I do. I think we're going to go there and we're going to put a good account in. We might not fully deserve the draw, but I think we'll get that 1 point. I think we'll just about get that 1 point. But I don't get all this Spurs fans that think we're going to go there and batter them. I think you've lost your minds. But at the same time, Arsenal fans who think we're just going to turn up and lose 4-1, I think Arsenal fans have lost their fucking minds as well. I think both teams are off to a good start. I think Spurs are playing the better football, but I think Arsenal have got the better players to come off the bench if they need. So I think we'll cancel each other out.
Yeah, Trossard, that goal by Trossard was wow.
We've got who can come off the bench for us and do that?
Well, we've got what's his name that we've just signed? Brendan Johnson. We've just signed.
He's brand new to the team, and he's
he's raw and got pace. We've got Richarlison who can come on. 15 minutes, Richarlison can score a goal. Perisic on the other side.
Perisic doesn't really score, though, does he? He can create. Doesn't really score.
But if he creates, that's just as good as a goal, right?
Who would you guys start, by the way, up front? Richarlison or Son?
Oh,
That's
Son.
Sonny, man.
No.
100%
Competition. Son.
Son.
Son is a big game player.
Lee Gunner, I saw him today. He said they're going to batter us. I don't
know, Ron.
I get the confidence and I get the bravado and I get the come on, we're Arsenal, we're at home. I get it. But the only way I see Arsenal battering us is if we go there and completely shit ourselves. Madison flops, Basuma flops.
But that is a possibility, though, isn't it? Though, still, I mean, we saw it a little bit at Fulham. But I know it was a completely different team with 9 changes, but the old Tottenham sort of came back in the sense of the Tottenham of last year, and that's what I fear is that a few of the players start panicking and they, you know, they stop doing what they've been taught to do.
I mean, personally, I think the way they are playing now, and I understand we've not really played anyone with any caliber yet, but that togetherness I see, that happiness I see, that we're all in this togetherness. I don't think that they'll go away and be overawed by the situation. While I agree we've got a couple of young players there, Maddison's been in this Premier League for how long? He knows how to run that midfield. He feels comfortable in there now. Basuma's already done it with Brighton at their place. I remember him laughing at whoever it was on the floor when they beat him. So I don't think we'll be overawed, but like as I said, defense and still said the goalies. I think they'll be the key kind of like key folks for sure. But I don't think we'll be pissed on kind of like by them in any way whatsoever.
I also think we've got an experienced, calm manager that is going to play the game, not the moment. I don't think the moment will get the better of him. I think he'll just keep his composure, which is important. You know, it won't be like Conte, who, for all the experience in the world, he just lost his mind a bit when we went 2-1 down to Arsenal. He brought on 3 defenders and shut shop. He went damage limitation, which was, you know, and I'll still back Conte to the end, but that was just bizarre, man. Like, it's a North London derby. Just go for it, man. Like, you conceded defeat.
It doesn't matter. Like, you're still like, what? You're only losing 3 points, right? It doesn't matter. All right, I know goal difference can play into it, but you've got to show your fans and show your club that you're having a go at it, as opposed to just jacking it in.
I think we're going there with a great spirit. We're going there with playing good football, and I think the away fans are going to be fire. I think we're going to really, really be good away support for this one. Whether it's enough, we'll find out.
This is the year still. This is the year. It happens.
Listen, as my Arsenal friends, right? As my Arsenal friend always says to me, and I think he makes a good point. In the North London derby, you always give the home team 1 point. You always like to think the home team will at least get a draw. Typically, minimum. Just for home advantage. Fans swaying the referee. The louder boo makes the referee change the yellow to a red, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah. That's fair, but I still think this is the year.
Listen, I hope so, because I'll be there and I'll be the worst fan there for them if that happens. One last thing before we wrap up, boys. Before he came, Iggy said, "This guy's good." I remember it. Iggy said it. And you know what? He has been sensational. So is the club. I think we've got to have a quick chat about this man. He's doing fantastic. You know, I know Brighton have got a great chairman, great scouting, data analytics, their recruitment, the maximum money they get for selling players, but they've lost their best players and they're better. He's got the most shots on target, second highest possession in the league, third highest goal scorer in the Premier League. He's got them European football for the first time. And that team, and let's have it right, that destroyed, absolutely destroyed Man United.
Mate, did you see that last goal?
£16.2 million. Guys, do you understand? Chicken Royale cost double the price of the whole squad. Like, honestly, how good is Brighton as a club and De Zerbi as a manager?
Did you see that goal that had about 30 passes? They
Brilliant.
just like played it around.
Yeah, brilliant.
Took the piss, literally took the piss.
Mate, they tore Newcastle a new one a couple of weeks ago. And we all said...
Well, we just got to hope they mess up.
I just think Brighton and everything from the top to bottom does it the right way. And that's why I get offended when we even try to slightly hint, oh, we're doing it the Brighton way. We're doing it. No. Right? The analytics that Brighton does in recruiting players, scouting players, they treat it almost like the Bible for them. Right? This is like the gospel for them. They get a coach, right, that fits exactly the Brighton way. They do it, right? It would be disrespectful for teams to compare themselves to Brighton, saying that they are doing it the Brighton way. No, Brighton does it the Brighton way, and it's sad that they have a former Spurs person, and Paul Barber, who's over there, and he's doing business. He's doing business over there at Brighton.
Yeah, Levy pissed him off. That's why he left.
And I don't know what's going to happen in January, but there is a kid, Barco, who plays for my South American team, Boca Juniors. If he goes to, the kid is awesome. Go look at his film, his highlights. Manchester City is looking to hijack that deal because Brighton's trying to get him for 10 mil. If they get this kid, I'm telling you, Brighton does it. They do it the right way. They do it the correct way. For a club that does not have money.
Do you know what, Murray? As much as we praise Brighton, I think De Zerbi needs a lot of credit here. And I'll tell you why. So many fans say, oh, but even when they had Potter, they were good. Let me tell you something. Potter did okay. The football was nice, but they always ended up finishing 12th or 14th.
It's like he was the Martin Yole, right?
Yeah, but they were like
the Martin Yole that got him up there. Yeah.
They were the kings of XG. Let's have it right. De Zerbi went to Old Trafford, pulled their pants down with Danny Welbeck up front. Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
I think De Zerbi is levels above Potter. It's not even close to me. I think De Zerbi genuinely is. And if Man City replaced Pep with De Zerbi, you wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if in a 3-4 years' time.
You see the style carry on, wouldn't you?
Yeah. We just got to see. I think this season is going to tell us a lot about De Zerbi. I know obviously it's the first 5 games and he's done really well. But
he did it last season. He did it last season. He got them 6.
Yeah, but I mean, this
would be his first full season.
Was that more because we faltered and Chelsea faltered than that they got that position?
He got to the FA Cup semi-final and outplayed Man United. Brighton deserved to win that game. Okay, they lost it, but I don't know. Let's not forget.
We'll see. We've got to see.
The squad is £16 million. The starting 11. Sorry.
True. I didn't know that Lallana was still playing. That's all I'm saying. I was quite shocked.
look at this. Still free. Veltman under $1 million. Van Heckel under 2 million. Dunk free. Lamperty 1.5 million. Gross 2.6. Dahoud free. Lallana free. Welbeck free. Mitoma, what a player he is, under 3 million. That Adringa 7 million. And they still had 3 top players that were taken out of that starting 11 on the bench. What's that young kid that got up front? I forgot his name. Is it Ferguson?
Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
On the bench.
Yeah, but I think he was injured. I thought I heard because he got a hat trick the week before, didn't he? Or
he came on
before the international break.
He came on the last 10-20.
Yeah. I thought I heard that he got injured, or he was carrying a knock or something. Because
listen, I guarantee you,
before the break he got a hat trick, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a hat trick. I guarantee you, if this was a Spurs squad, we're getting relegated. We're getting fucking relegated. You know it.
Oh yeah.
You know we're going down.
900 grand.
I think I'll stick by what I say. I think this season, let's see how this season pans out with him and how well they do. If they do any cup runs or if they're challenging for Champions League or Europe places,
and even if they get some injuries, Maz,
yeah,
right?
and let's see, because if he repeats it again, then I'm with you still. You know, I'll be really, really impressed because we've seen teams like Brighton come up and do well for like a season or two, then they just sort of drop off before, right? So let's just see.
I'll tell you what, I'm supporting Brighton this year in the Europa Cup. I hope they somehow find a way and win that. If they win the Europa Cup, I'm going to lose it. That'll be a phenomenal thing if they do that.
Change teams though. We'll just give
Listen,
up Spurs.
I've always supported them a little bit from the uni days. I used to go watch them. It was £3 a ticket with the NUS discount when Bobby Zamora was the striker back in the day. Because I couldn't always come back to London. It was expensive to come back to London on the train. So some weekends you stay in Brighton, and if the Albion were playing at home for £3,
yeah, it's
you know,
worth
a
it.
can of Coke was 25p back then. A hot dog was £1. It was, you know, £5. Good day out.
Done it.
Now, how old are you?
Huh? I'm 30 next year. 30.
Still, I just want to remind you that you are in the mud though.
Here we go. Go on, get up your
Right.
chest.
Vicario shit, VDV shit.
I never said they were shit.
Who else? Who else did you say they're shit? I'm sure there's Solomon is shit.
No,
Everyone is shit.
No. Right. I said Solomon, there's no end product. And so far, I still haven't quite seen it. VDV, my concern was in the air, hitting the ball from set pieces, defending, and recovery runs. Go. I tell you what, the video is online. I know you're trying to wind me up. The video is online. Everyone can see it. I did a tactical analysis. Just his recovery runs, if they're not in a straight line. And regarding Vicario, my only concern with him was whether he comes off his line. But you know what? Since I made that video, he's done it.
He saw it and he's doing it. Yeah. No, I think there's one thing I've noticed with VDV, and it'd be interesting to see if it improves as he grows older and he matures. Is he does turn slow, a bit like Dyer. Like watch him, just keep an eye on him and watch him in the game. The way he turns at a 180 to like track a player back is really slow. But once he is turned and he's going straight, then he's unstoppable. But that's my only concern with him.
Do you know what I've noticed as well? He's a little bit not a hunchback, but he's a little bit leaned forward when he moves. I wonder if he was a bit more upright, whether that would help him in terms of his
run like Michael Johnson.
Oh God, yeah, he was weird, wasn't he?
I'll tell you,
maybe he's just perfecting the pigeon.
Maybe he's practiced it too much.
But he's quality though. He's quality VDV though. I mean, he's. I'll tell you what I love about him. He's calm. Doesn't panic.
He is a calm head. I'll tell you who else has calmed down a lot, but he's still aggressive. Is Romero. Yeah. Romero had a good game again against Sheffield United.
Oh,
yeah.
Another one.
And even at the end of the game, Emerson Royale, when the referee blew the final whistle, Emerson Royale tried to go up to a Sheffield United player and really wind them up, and Romero grabbed him.
He put his arm around him. Yeah, he put his arm around him and walked away, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's changing, this semi-captaincy or
before
whatever.
It would be two players pulling Romero back.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, listen, guys. Yeah. Go on. No, say it.
No, I was going to say. I was going to just quickly say that it'll be interesting to see what Romero does against Arsenal, because that's the litmus test, isn't it? Is how can the players control themselves during that game once Arsenal start getting in our faces and winding us up, and and especially if they're playing well as well.
But that was his first foul. That was his first foul this season.
Where the join button is. The join button. You go on the home page of YouTube, and it's across the top. Yeah, go on, JP. Sorry.
Yeah, but he can't join here. What's he joining?
No, you got to go.
Oh, what the memberships? Oh, right, okay. No, I was saying that was Romero's first foul this season.
Yeah,
he made his first foul in this game against Sheffield United.
He's been brilliant.
I bet he makes his second, third, and fourth against Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, can you just stop betting, all right? No betting from you.
Yeah, I'm not betting. I'm going just in case we win, man. I'm only going actually because it's free. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going. But
you're going to be a happy chappy still.
I'm telling you, if we win, the internet's going to shut down. You're not ready for what I've got in my head. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
YouTube is going to be wild this week. Wild.
Mari, are you doing the lounge show on Wednesday or not?
During the lounge show, will just be us Spurs content creators, just talking about the game. So that the Spurs Lounge will be North London special, just us 4 or 5 or 6 Spurs. Then Thursday will be North London is ours.
That'll be banging.
That will be nuts. Like if the last week was nuts on Thursday, this Thursday is going to be nuts. North London is ours. We'll have the Arsenal pundits against Spurs pundits, right? Then Saturday, if no one's doing
Whoa,
anything,
whoa! 1 minute. On Friday.
Friday.
Friday we got Friday Night Live.
Show. I've got some guests coming on to that.
Okay,
Mari just wiped me off the show. Like,
Yeah. No. Friday's gonna be wild. Friday's gonna be wild. The Friday Night Live. I don't know who he's having on. If it's gonna be all Spurs or it's gonna be some Arsenal fans in there. We don't know. Saturday night party. We'll have more banter. People want to come in. Don't even know what to call it on Saturday. And then on Sunday, normally we don't have, unless we have a game on. I know we'll have the watch along, and then Will does the show at night. But I'm gonna do a afternoon here in the States, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock show post game with TJ on the special North London's hours on Sunday. Special one.
Basically, we'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 times,
and then Monday again.
Yeah, Monday we're gonna wrap it all up. We're gonna bring it all home for you.
Bring it on.
We'll have banter from this point on. We're it's gonna be a party, man. It's gonna be a
Derby week, man. Derby week. Party week.
Yeah. Big weekend. And do you know what? It's the first time we're going into North London Derby. Both teams unbeaten, both teams on equal points. It's interesting, you know. It's interesting. Both teams can't really afford to lose this in terms of momentum. So, but as Graham said earlier on in the chat, the team that wants it the most in the day. That's what it's going to come down to. So,
at Boxing Hotspur, no Martinelli's out.
Martinelli's out for 6 weeks. Yeah, he's hamstring. He's out for 6 weeks.
Oh, wow!
But they've got Trossard. I mean, he's good as well. So it's not like they got like I said, Arsenal's got a better squad than us.
Yeah, more depth.
But who would replace Trossard as a sub? Nketiah, I suppose.
Nketiah. Shite Havertz. I swear to God, right? Anyhow, Kai Havertz scores or hits the winner against us.
Oh, no.
That's it. You've done it now, Stel. He's scoring now. That's it. Oh, no.
Ideally, what I want... No, listen. Ideally, this is what we want. It's 2-2. We get a setback to one of the defenders. We've got to make a sub, just like when Man United were 1-1 with Arsenal, and they had to go to a back two of Maguire and Evans. We go to a back two of Van der Ven and Eric Dyer, and we win a last-minute corner. And Eric, the sledgehammer head Dyer, bullets it to the back of the net. Steams in the away end. The love for Dyer is epic, and Eric Dyer wins the North London Derby with one of these. To the fans.
Yes, he's back. Yes, he's back. Back again. Dyer's back.
You need to lay off the drink, man.
and then we wake up in a bush after a night out on the lash.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And the dream, it was all a dream. It was all a dream.
You're in that Levy dream, aren't you?
Levy dream together.
I would confidently put a bet more likely on Dyer not scoring against Arsenal than any other bet out there. I'm more confident of that not happening.
Scoring an own goal is probably more than likely.
Fucking hell. If Eric Dyer comes on, I think the game's done. If he comes on, I think.
He ain't coming on.
Will you dance the Zorba outside the Emirates? I'll dance it inside, outside, at Finsbury Park.
On top of it.
If we win,
they're gonna kill you, mate.
I'm gonna be dead. I'm coming on a body bag.
No, you need to do some live interviews from stadium for the.
Yeah. This is Tottenham away. Everyone outside the Emirates. That's gonna go down well.
They won't
You know
let
what,
you out anyway.
Do you know what though? Still, that'd be good for views.
If we win, they're gonna not let us out. That's what normally happens. Well, last time we won, which was like forever.
Oh mate. Well, let's see. JP, final words, and then we'll call it a night.
Final words. I'm looking forward to this week, party week. Get that blood pumping, building it up. It's a shame it's Saturday. Shame it's not Saturday instead of Sunday. It just drags it out one bit, but bring it on. I mean, how kind of derby day is always like a pain in the ass because it's nerves like right from the morning and stuff like that, and like the whole build up to it and stuff. It's almost like bring the game on and let's do it.
Yeah.
And we will
Dragging
win
on.
because
JP
that's what Anne
is confident.
says. Yep.
JP's confident. Mari.
Yep.
Final words before we wrap it up tonight.
Really excited for this week. It's going to be interesting. I love the excitement. This is what we watch football for. You know, we support our fans, win, lose, or draw. And this week it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun doing content, creating, podcasting this week, and it's going to be fun. And hopefully, our Arsenal fans are going to be in the mud, and we're going to be celebrating. But it's going to be fun. I'm really excited, and it's good times.
Maz.
I think this is one of the first games in a long time against Arsenal that I'm actually really looking forward to it, because it's going to be a proper test and we're going to see where we are at as a team, where Andrew's at and everything else. So, yeah, looking forward to it this week. I'm looking forward to all the shows that are coming up, especially obviously Tottenham away, because that's the only channel I really watch. And, yeah, can't wait until next Monday when we win. And I'll come on and all happy.
After the game, you can come along to the watch along.
Definitely.
I will be posting on Sunday night on YouTube the Zorba the Greek dance at the Emirates Stadium after Eric Dyer scores a bullet 98th minute header to win it for Arsenal. No. I'm going to too. Listen, big up to everyone on the show tonight. Everyone in the comments. Also, Dietrich came. Thank you for the super chat. Gaguma super sticker. Another super sticker from Gaguma and London Bro. Big up to you for your super sticker donation to the channel. We will be live on Wednesday with Mari, Thursday with Mari, Friday with me. Saturday's a mixture of everything, and Sunday's just non-stop. Watch alongs, post-match analysis, live shows. We're doing a couple of bits with TJ Warren. Make sure you check out TJ Warren Laguna. Other than that, thanks for watching. Smash a like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll be on every day. And we'll see you next Monday to see what actually happened.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Up the Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.